Mm, I think I had this on mute. Welcome, everybody. This is Linda James, your favorite apostate, and today is the 22nd of August. So, next month, we're going to be getting into September, October, November, December. We're going to start getting into the time of the holidays. So, I'm going to be talking a bit about holidays as that time comes up. Um, and I would like you to think about whether or not, if, if any of them would be something you would want to take part in or not, and either decision is fine. And if you do want to, I'm going to bring up some ideas of what how you can celebrate them because I'll be real honest, I had no clue how to do Christmas. Okay, I had no clue how to do birthday parties. Right, it was so foreign to me, but it was okay with my conscience, so I wanted to do them. So yeah, so and because we didn't have these traditions that passed down to us, it made it to where I get to start my own traditions that I could hand down to my kids and they could hand down to theirs or choose not to use any of them at all. Either way was fine with me. So, yeah, think about the holidays, think about, how they're coming up. And this is my intention for them not to be any form of stress, meaning if you get invited by friends to go see family, that might be stress enough as it is. I do not want to add any more stress to that, okay? I just want to give some ideas that from my own wisdom and for people to suggest stuff that they've done that they have enjoyed doing because I'm wanting that to be a time of enjoyment for you if again if it's okay with your conscience. This is not going to be a time where I tell you, oh, it shouldn't bother you, or um, you should just start celebrating Christmas or anything like that. It's if and when you want to do anything like that. And I also will check in with my friends about like their birthdays and stuff. Sometimes a birthday means nothing to them. Sometimes the idea of celebrating their birthday is a big deal. And it's, you don't have to have much money to make a big deal out of someone's birthday that, used to come from a culture like our own where celebrating birthdays were not something we did. So yeah, I do want to come up with things like that. And I should probably get my phone out and look at the I'm going to look at the comments in a few minutes. I Tonight I want to welcome Matthew because he's been showing up here, and he did a show earlier today talking a bit about not having to get stressed out. Can you tell us a little bit about what your live stream was about today, Matthew?
Well, it's your. I was just tuning into your subject matter here, Linda James, and your thoughts about holidays. And I was thinking, okay, well, what would I do here? I see Dallas in the comments says, he would like to gather with his relatives for the holidays. And the way you're talking, you're saying, well, if it doesn't stress you out or you are attracted to these holidays, that'd be a great thing. But what about those of us who have been so conditioned for so many years that you go, I just don't even think about birthdays. I don't think, and somebody says, well, wouldn't that be a great thing to do, get together for the holidays? And you go, no, it just
Right.
isn't.
I totally get
And
that
so,
too.
and you're going, come on, you just got to get into this. And you're going, huh?
No, you don't have
What?
to. You don't have
And,
to.
and you're going, but I can tap into other people's pleasure. I
Sure.
can go, I see, oh, Linda James, there you are, and you're rocking. It's going great. And I'm going, well, I'm happy for you. But you're going, why aren't you engaged in this? Going, because damage, there's
Right?
damage here. you know.
Yes.
So
Yes. Absolutely.
I wanted to. I'm not dodging your question. I'm just engaging with what you're talking about here because I think it's closely related. I
Sure.
got onto my show and I was like, oh, I'm busy with this video and it's not ready. And I'm like, oh, geez. And it's for somebody on the show. And I'm sort of thinking, I'm letting them down. And I'm going, oh,
Oh, I
crap.
know that feeling.
And then I went, stop. Talk about this. Talk about the fact that you're in a bloody mess. And going, oh, what's happening? Guilt? Oh, that's a flag.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
I'm wearing myself up. Am I creating my own cult and I'm my own cult leader? I mean, help, please. Hassan. Hello.
Right.
I'd like to report a cult leader. Who? Me.
I'm my own damn cult leader. Oh my God, that's great.
I've captured myself and I need to escape. All I want to do is celebrate Christmas with bad association, Linda James.
Right.
Okay, calming down. You asked.
Thank you. No, this is so familiar. Everything you just said, I've done numerous times. Numerous times. Okay?
Oh, God.
Everything you just said. At least 4 times a year, okay? Since I've left the org, okay? And I don't realize it's happening, but much of it is associated with the mindset that was taught to us in a high controlled, high demand culture. We have this sense of obligation. First off, fog, FOG. We have fear, obligation, and guilt. Those 3 things, this fog can really run us ragged when we are simply attempting to be a Christian with integrity serving God. And God, we're failing, aren't we? I'm such a, I go into it so easily. Shame, guilt. I'm so roughed up, and God's not going to forgive me, and I can't even forget, stinking thinking. Super easy to get into.
Do
And
I need to explain my
sneaks up
sherbet
on-
words?
Oh, you can. Yeah, sure.
Oh, Linda James says to me, why you say sherbet? I said, because you're laughing already. Okay, I'm gonna stop it there, Linda James.
No, I want to hear why. Please share. This is a friendly place to share.
I'd like to just make it very clear to everybody here. Linda James knows why I say sherbet, and she's in the know. And I've kind of set this up. It's my replacement word for the word shit.
Nice. Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Sure.
So that I can try and keep Linda James's show family friendly for as long as humanly possible until we've got to slap a no under 18 on it. Whap!
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway.
Somebody, I was listening to 6 Screens earlier today, and somebody calls in and goes, he was either talking about Jehovah's Witnesses or talking about those of us that might have been previous Jehovah's Witnesses or once in a cult of some sort. And he just says, we're socially retarded. And I'm thinking, oh, geez, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
You are displaying it right now, And so, so I'm laughing because I can so relate, right? So we're developmentally delayed as far as knowing how to socialize, right?
Right.
Knowing how to function in society at large and know things that are socially acceptable and things that are not socially acceptable. And Diamond Dave, hello, Diamond Dave, is welcome to the stage. Welcome,
What's up?
Diamond Dave. I'm talking about, did you hear what I was saying about being socially, someone talked about things being socially retarded, and I'm calling it socially delayed, which is along the same lines. And it's also called where's the word? Where it's like you're in jail. Arrested.
Purgatory. Oh.
Incarcerated.
Socially arrested.
Hmm.
Developmentally arrested. Hello, there it is.
Okay.
Developmentally arrested. So our developmental abilities was arrested. Think of it as being put in jail so that it could not grow further
Right.
to where we would function in society at large easier today. We are behind in this kind of stuff. It's to be expected to, I'm wanting people to understand that's normal for us. And I'm welcoming, I thought I was welcoming
There's Dallas.
Dallas. And thank you for showing that, Matthew. Hello, Dallas. How are you?
Well,
Dallas.
I'm
And Dave, I
hey,
didn't greet you, but hi, Dallas.
well, hi there.
It's good to be with both of you. All of you.
It's because I was typing in some things about my life.
I haven't seen them. Can you share them with me or us verbally?
In the comments. And actually, I did attend Thanksgiving gatherings with relatives. So I got to know some things.
Okay.
Because it was a time with family that if I get a chance, I will attend Christmas, Easter with them.
Very cool.
I just want more time with.
Did you ever feel hesitant to celebrate the holidays after you left the Jehovah's Witness religion?
Well, it didn't take much effort, just a little bit at a time. I have got to celebrate birthday and got a happy birthdays to me last time and before that. It meant so much.
It did?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Got a nice cake.
Did you buy it for yourself?
I got it for myself.
I've done that too.
I think you got a coconut cake, right? Coconut.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Yeah.
Or how about black walnut?
Oh, I was waiting until Dallas was going to mention the food.
Black walnut. I think that's a great nut, and it's a Native American walnut, and it is an old-fashioned flavor. But delicious.
You always amaze me with the things you know.
Hey, and hickory trees, they produce edible nuts as well.
Is that a brand name?
It's a type of tree.
Okay.
The hickory tree, you can eat the nuts.
Okay.
It's because being from the rural Pennsylvania, USA.
So you've had a chance to get together with some family members that celebrated holidays, and you were able to get together with
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, okay. And you've celebrated your birthday.
I think that was even before, long time ago at Thanksgiving. Even before I woke up.
Okay. Oh, I see.
So either of my parents, they still went to the Thanksgiving at times. Usually every year, at least one side of the family. And I had a great time too.
That's amazing. Those that are listening and not familiar with the Jehovah's Witness religion, they used to celebrate holidays, but over time they were taken away. So most Jehovah's Witnesses and those that have left this organization are not used to celebrating holidays nor their birthdays. Anniversaries are okay with this organization. Celebrating someone's baptism is okay.
I'll
Can
be
you think of
celebrating my
anything-
next. I'll be celebrating my next one when my baptism, if it's into the Baptist church.
Okay.
I'd be celebrating that one.
I actually got baptized in the Baptist church.
And
Hmm.
you were Baptist at one time.
I never got baptized as a JW. I tried. I think you
That's
know
a
the
good
story,
thing you didn't.
but I did study with this Baptist church I went to and got baptized.
And
And
I
guess
love
what?
Rick.
I got to wear a white robe, and the pool was warmed up. It was so cool. It was
Actually,
warmed
the
up.
Baptist church I've been going to, they don't. It's only the dunker that wears the gown. The candidate, they don't wear gown. They're plain clothes.
Okay. Yeah. So it was at the front of the church, and it felt normal to me, and it was okay with my conscience at the time. But I've never, ever thought to myself, I'm a Baptist, nor have I ever called myself a Baptist. I just
And-
saw myself as a Christian.
And Rick, he has his line. That he had been excommunicated. He said, and he claims himself as not only apostate but the evil slave. He's called himself that because he was of the chosen.
That's right. Right. Yeah.
And he says that glad that Satan kicked me out of his organization. That's his line.
Yeah.
I can't wait till I can say the same thing that can say that Satan kicked me out of his organization. I'll look forward to that. I want.
When did you wake up, Dallas? You
Well,
said
I think I was starting to question even before this coronavirus thing, is COVID. I was having my doubts years before that.
okay.
And then I got serious and started to question, but as we got away from it, believed in it less, and gotten to think about getting out. I thought about it before I knew I wanted to. I thought.
Yes.
And then I got to where I want to get the hell out of this
Gee.
organization. It's wasting. It's not ain't working for me, and wasting my time in life. Why waste my time with this?
Linda James, and depending upon Dallas, can I ask a few more questions?
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
I don't really get to talk with Dallas that much, but I have a lot of fun with Dallas.
Yeah.
Really do.
Enjoy.
Dallas, your friendship that you bring to the community, brilliant. Dallas, your natural. I'll make you shy here, but Dallas, when you were in JW, how were you treated?
Well, I had many folks. I had ones that I loved very much. We even had some family friends that were trustworthy, and me, the rank and file, I love them, and they're just so friendly. It's a leadership that I got the problem with the higher ups more than anything else.
Was there a defining moment or somewhere where you saw there was a behavioral contradiction? Was there something specific that triggered the rest, or it was just an accumulation?
I think it was something. Once I found out, watching videos, I found out they were part of the United Nations, and that was one of the straws that started breaking the camel's back.
Okay.
And then one that we were close to, a longtime family friend, when she died, that had to have been the final straw that broke the camel's back.
Sorry.
And it was before my time. It's because being Pennsylvania native, then I lived in Texas, and then now North Carolina.
Do you mind me asking, why was the death significant?
Because it was a good friend of my mom and a family friend, and one that was one of the trustworthy ones we had as a family friend.
All right.
And it made me not myself.
All right. Thank you, Dallas. Thanks for telling us your story.
And some of them I've gotten very close to. I've made close ones. I've just have, and many that I haven't stopped loving, and I do love them unconditionally.
Yeah. Well, when I come to North Carolina, if we can go fishing.
We'll welcome you back to the United States.
And I'll do some Shona cooking with you.
Because you say you've been to the United States before.
I was there 2012 when Jared Kushner was purchasing, or that whole East River purchase. It was the old Bethel's at near Manhattan. So there was that deal.
I remember that.
The United States has some very beautiful landscape in some areas.
Yeah. I was amazed. I went to the Rockies, Colorado, and
they're nice. I've been there.
Yeah. I was in Aurora, and I got lost on the interstate because somebody handed me car keys.
Oh my God.
And I had to
I'm
follow them on.
This ought to be good.
And I had to trace my way back home through 7-Elevens and anyway, good stories, Dallas. I'd like to hear your stories. Yeah, so 2012 was when I was there, and I went on a tour, and anyway, it's its own story. But I was amazed at how people would leave their cars open in Colorado, and I would see families having picnics on the side of the road, and I was like, what is this? And go into stores, and there was no shopkeeper. It was honesty paying, and I was like, what is this culture, folks? You know? And there was this gun brotherhood that tried to bring me into their cult when I was there. And they were saying, yeah. So that was an interesting story, because they said, what's your occupation? At that time, I was a truck driver. And I said, yeah, I'm a truck driver. And they were, yeah, right. So anyway, but the beauty of I'm thinking of Garden of the Gods, where NORAD was, you know, and there's those underground tunnels. Beautiful,
oh, wow.
Phenomenal, and mysterious too.
When you say you were a truck driver, are you talking diesel?
Diesel and petrol.
Wow. Okay.
So I got Code 14, which is the big Pantechnicon. I've still got valid licensing. I was an instructor for the organization for backhoe and skid steer and the heavy duty trucks. I used to train the new recruits for international trucking. And
wow.
Have I never told you about this? Yeah.
No.
So
no.
I've still got valid code 14. I still get that done every 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my dad was an auto mechanic and then became a truck mechanic. So we used to go to truck shows, and Peterbilts are my favorite. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So the organization uses, well, in Africa, Scania, which is like, Starship Enterprise vehicles, but the heavy duty ones are the MAN trucks. And new persons used to come, men and women. Hey, Linda James used to train the women as well to drive and use the heavy equipment, and would teach them, look, how does a spark plug work? How does a diesel compression engine work? We would disassemble engines and put them together from two-stroke to heavy duty diesel trucks. The whole lot. In fact, you should see pictures on my Instagram of the women that were
Oh,
trained up with
okay.
women with chainsaws. I mean, it was one
Whew.
incredible
Okay.
crew.
Wow.
Yeah, and you can see us with carabiners ascending and descending the trees and the ravines.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that was men and women. It was fully integrated.
I think of myself as being able to drive almost anything, but I've never been in a diesel truck. And I figure I could probably figure it out after I get in, but I haven't had that experience yet. Because of the way my dad taught me. So when I did learn how to drive, I learned how to drive a stick shift and stick shift on the wheel, push button stick shift, like 4-door trucks. Like he taught me how to drive a whole bunch of different kinds of cars all that same summer, so that I would have a feel of what it's like to drive all these different sizes and stuff.
Sure. I managed to get a truck stuck on the railway. I mean, right on the track. I mean, out of all the places to get
Wow.
stuck, right on the track. There was a trainee, and he stalled the diesel. It was an
Oh
MAN.
no.
He stalled it.
Oh my God.
He got caught in a mental loop. It was between arrogance and
Oh.
just making a mistake, and then he got embarrassed, and then he over cranked this, and I'm telling him, please just stop cranking this engine. You're going to drain the battery. And he drained this thing until we were stuck on the track.
Yeah.
And so I had to, this is out in Diedrich, some of these very, very remote kind of places. And we were stuck on this track, and I'm going, out of all the places to stall this thing, I mean, what's the chances? I mean, there's so much road, and it's a track. We've already destroyed
railroad.
railroad
track.
Railroad track, yeah. Out of all the places, I'm going, what's the chances of this happening right on? It's like, were you aiming for the track? And we'd already had one vehicle totally destroyed by a train. It was a new thing, totally wiped out. Yeah, the disasters were phenomenal.
I've often wondered if the train companies fine people that have their cars on, like if they would get fined for that.
Yeah. So anyway, I had to call in for help, disassembled that engine, because if it's a diesel, you got to reprime the engine. You actually have to reprime it. I mean, it's once they've overcranked it, and so the battery was gone, finished. Okay. I think we also had we went to an emergency diesel tank, and there was air in the system, so you have to bleed the air out of the system. So there were two problems there. It was bleeding air out of the injection system, and bleeding air out of the backup fuel system. And man, I just couldn't get cooperation from him. It was just, yes, it was his mistake, but I was dealing with arrogance, real JW arrogance. Anyway, I remember.
So you weren't getting cooperation.
It wasn't getting cooperation, yeah. And this
Wow.
was the guy when I got arrested by Lesotho. Oh, I remember where it
Whoa,
was.
whoa.
We were hit,
Okay, you got arrested? Okay.
yeah,
I know I have not
Lesotho
heard
police.
this story. Ooh,
Are you sure? I thought
I
I
don't
had told you
recall
this
this at
story.
all. No.
Okay, anyway, we got compression back, and when we got compression, the diesel, it comes through at such force, it just becomes this cloud of diesel vapor, which is highly
Right.
flammable. But when
Oh,
it comes down,
okay.
you just covered black,
In soot.
with
Okay.
yeah,
Oof.
well, not soot, just the diesel fuel. I mean, it's this thick black viscous
Okay.
liquid. So I was covered in this diesel, and it was this fountain of diesel, as we got compression back, sealed it up, got the vehicle going, get to this was a trip from hell or to back and back to hell.
I can tell. Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, I got arrested. He managed to take the Bethel phone and run when I got arrested. And it was corrupt police trying to get bribes.
Okay.
They were accusing me of tax avoidance at the border post, but I mean, I had done all the paperwork, everything was done correctly. They were trying to induce an old legal clause that didn't apply, and it was
Okay.
for bribery.
You
Anyway,
were already familiar with that kind of bribery then? That story?
yeah, he was so they made me kneel in the bush. I mean, I was there, it's very, very remote. And they were just going, well, you're not returning back. And I said, no, I already know that this trip, that's the cost. I said, it's already been calculated. I said, but we're totally expendable. I said, there's another truck coming behind. I mean, so what are you going to do? You're going to arrest them too? And are you going to arrest the next truck? Whatever, And they just couldn't, so there was no fear that they could put in. I was just like, don't care. Oh, you're sending me back? I mean, I came from hell anyway, so where are you putting me? Better accommodation? Because they're telling me, oh, the next accommodation's 4 walls, it's a prison, and the only person you're going to be talking to is a magistrate. But this guy took the Bethel phone and ran, which was great. But he phones the Bethel and says, Gray's been arrested. He's been arrested, criminal charges, whatever. He's done something wrong. Completely
He's telling on
sells
you.
me out.
He's telling on you. Oh God. Okay.
But he got through to somebody who was in the know, and he said, "No, calm down. Gray hasn't done anything. It's corruption, or they said likely corruption.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's done everything he's supposed to. But yeah, the first thing he did was sell me out."
Took the phone. And ran. Oh,
Yeah,
I
he
see
ran.
now too.
And it was the best thing, because that was how the branch got to know our location, because I couldn't get to the HF radio. I mean, that was restricted. Couldn't get, because that would be our normal link. And there was also satellite GPS tracking system. But I mean, where we were, especially in some of these mountainous areas, you lose signal. We were losing signal, and so that wasn't always a guarantee. They could lose you. I mean, we had been lost before during rains and flooding. There were 2 occasions. Snow, got stuck in snow, gone, lost. They can't see us, can't see where we are. And the other thing that happened was when there's flooding, and they can't, there's no rescue. There's no rescue, folks. Nobody's coming to save you in these places. That's why you drive an MAO truck. The whole thing is designed for these harsh conditions. So anyway, those are some of my stories. I stopped there because I can go on and on and on about it.
How long did you stay where you were after you were arrested?
No, they only kept me for a day. They kept me for a day.
Okay. Alrighty.
Yeah, they could only keep me for a day, but that was pretty close, that one.
Wow.
And it was the evening that I was released. No, I had really weird things happen, and it was when their chief came. I could see, something's gone wrong here. It's not working the way they thought it was going to work. And he's going, get rid of this guy, get rid of him. So there was something I did that I could hear, no, just you're making more of a problem here. It hasn't worked out. Just get rid of him. You do it. And that's when they let me go.
Okay.
The other time that I was arrested was Bulawayo, right next to the police station. And the way that happened, I'm with the police. They've arrested me, but then they neglected me. So then I went, well, I can just get up and leave. So that's what I did.
Oh my God. Okay.
I just got up and left. So
Oh
that
my
was weird.
goodness.
Yeah, it's like they didn't care. I'm sort of like there and I'm casual and I'm going, oh, well, if nobody's attending to this arrest for whatever, you know, I might as well just go. And that's what I did. I just found my way out.
Was both
No,
of these
Africa-
times in Africa? Yeah.
Yeah,
It must have been because of the corruption. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, while I was, look, it was very strange. What's a guy like me doing in these rural areas and these rural trust lands? I can see
Right.
why that was strange and weird and they would detain me. Yeah, I can see why. That wasn't.
You
That
would
wasn't
look
that.
out of place. You would definitely look out of place.
What are you doing in this culture? I mean, you stick out. Like what?
Yep.
What's your motive? I'm a Jehovah's Witness. Yeah, right.
Still doesn't add. Still doesn't add up.
Doesn't add up. Yeah. What were you involved in? Computers, British military. That history. I could never. They always knew the history. They always knew the history. That would always come back. So the intelligence network, second to none. Brilliant. You would never live it down. Never live it down. So yeah.
Wow.
So all that history, banks.
I've never been arrested, ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would cry. So I would just cry. I'd be like,
Yeah.
I would cry because, like, I'd be mortified. Like, I can't believe this is happening. I guess it's because I'm a rule follower. Probably
The most
why.
dangerous places were, for me, I think, where I came close was Soweto, because that was I don't know if I must give a trigger warning, but R4 semi-automatics in my face. I mean, that was
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, you can look that up at South Africa and how hectic. Yeah, that's it, folks. It's really. Did you come across Gavin on my show? Gavin grew up in Hillbrow, which is like hectic South Africa. It's hectic gangster kind of territory, that. So when he comes on, and so he would come onto my show, so he knows the history, he knows the culture, because that's one survivor of note. But it's
Okay.
sort of like, I don't know how to describe it, but there's these films by Blomkamp, like District 9. It's that kind of environment. He's modeled it after the culture. That's what it's like. It is like that. It's hectic. You know, Vander Merwe, undercover agent, out in the bush. It's that stuff. It's
Right.
very, very hectic,
hmm Sounds like it. Have you ever been arrested, Diamond Dave or Dallas?
Not
No.
I mean, I've been thrown in the drunk tank a couple times. So
Okay.
technically, yes.
Okay.
Technically, yes.
So it's one of those. It just didn't, so that you'll sober up and it keeps you out
Basically,
of trouble.
drank too much, got into a couple altercations. This is like years ago in like my 20s.
Yeah.
But I mean that's kind of how, I don't know, a lot of 20-year-old guys in America end up in the drunk tank, but not for anything like serious or like harming another person. Just drank a little too much, might have gotten into a fight at a bar, They just
Right.
detain you. All right, get out, kind of a thing.
Okay. And then so with Matthew, it's like wrong place at the wrong time.
Political motivated. It's just look
Right.
wrong. Yeah. But I mean, it was while that whole Zimbabwe economic meltdown was happening, and my history with gemology, the history with computers and internet infrastructure and backbone, and the banks, and putting in the networks where there's money. It's working with that whole intelligence thing. So
Okay,
once you do that, that's it. I mean, that's why the Thomas International psychological profiling was so important, because they wanted to see that you fitted a specific category, but then you'd be closely monitored, and you knew that you knew that in order to win the tenders and to keep the business going, that you cooperated with that. I mean, the business that I was in, we had a closed room for government intelligence operatives. You just left them there. But I mean, it was on your premises. In order for you to do that, that was the agreement, that you have a closed room, that they can just do whatever they want. That was it. That's the agreement.
Okay. Wow. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Fascinating, and yet I have no desire to know what happened in those rooms, because I think it wasn't always a good time for everybody.
Well, I think of the technology back in the mid 90s. So we had all kinds of things with Sun Microsystems, very, very advanced Cray computers as well, that they were doing the nuclear testing things. That was mid 90s. And even then we had real time translation from Mandarin to English. I mean, spoken, real time translation, mid 90s, folks. But the equipment they had, I mean, you would have this kind of stuff, headphones like this,
Okay.
and you just point your equipment. You just point your equipment to a room. You hear everything
Right.
in that room.
Okay. Oh yeah.
You just a distance. There's people a couple of miles away. You just point towards them. You hear everything they say.
I remember seeing discs that would do that, like a disc thing. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So you got to just remind me what I tell you about and what I don't. But they used to put those discs in what was called a Cobra can. The Cobra can was for polish, and then they'd shove it up in a tree. So the kids out in the rurals, they used to say, never. The whole idea of the snake is a warning. So the Cobra can, it's to tell you, kids, don't touch this. Don't touch this. You're never coming back. You touch that, you're never coming back. So it was Russian listening equipment that was put into these Cobra cans, and it was those discs. And so that was for the whole spy network. But once you recognize the technology, you know enough, never touch it.
Yeah, I have heard you mention this. That's intriguing, and that the kids know. That's
know.
not a place to hang out.
Don't.
Are you going to sleep, Dallas? No? Okay.
Hey,
I'm just checking.
He's just
I've
chilling.
Yeah, that's cool.
well, y'all know your automobiles.
Which automobiles, Dallas?
What about a lot of them about knowing about the working parts?
No, only to teach in so much as maybe disassemble, and it was for maintenance.
And actually, the cylinders, both gasoline and diesel, they got cylinders, and then inside they got the valves that go up and down, intake, exhaust valves. And one thing, diesel, they don't have spark plugs. Gas, that's a gasoline thing, which the wires go to the distributor. And at one time, some remember when gasoline engines were carbureted, not injected.
Yes.
carbureted?
We had both, and we also had that Toyota system with the injection, the electronic injection controlled. So they had to learn that one. But we used to work with two strokes as well. I mean, Husqvarna engines, Cat, Mercedes, MAN, Scania. Those were the kind of engines that we were having to work on.
As mechanics.
Car-
As a mechanic?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
So the organization had PDFs of all the engines, so that you always train the machine failure. So if we couldn't get the part, we would machine the part. We had the machine shop. We would machine our own parts.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So
Wow.
when I purchased a vehicle, it was like it's my own personal vehicle. It was like, oh, there's a vehicle. We got it at reduced cost because it's not working. That's why I was saying to you, we just bring your remember your Camaro? So we bring it back to life. And we're not worried about it.
Wow.
And I remember getting this
Now
car.
I'm hearing you. Okay. Now I'm understanding why you're interested in it. Okay.
So you'll see pictures of a car.
A mechanic who could. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So you'll see pictures of a car on my Instagram. That thing was, and I remember going down with a branch mechanic, and we brought that thing back to life in an afternoon.
You were like MacGyver. You had like hand lotion and a rubber band and a Band-Aid, and you all would make it work.
Yeah. So look, I had the benefit of a top mechanic, and the other thing the organization would get, that vehicle that you see on Instagram, we got the guys from the factory, flown in. Yes, flown in. That's why you can see them working on the computer. They were working on the mass airflow sensors, the whole lot. We got that thing up to condition. It was like what I had paid for it. It immediately doubled in value. That was one of the things that the organization did. You would buy these things cheap, and they would double in value because of your personnel. And I remember getting that car up to spec in an afternoon, and cheap. It was just like a couple of rand. It wasn't anything expensive. It was like a couple of rand just for solder and a few tiny components. And this thing was working fabulous.
Wow.
And that's what we would do. And that was part of the, you'd flip vehicles and you would accrue some kind. That's how the guys used to fly around the world. They used to do that. And the benefits was.
The benefits was?
The benefits was coming from the fact that you had persons specializing in different fields. I mean, the electronics down to computer chips.
Okay.
Reprogramming computer chips and finding another way. There was, in our department, we got the vehicles working off sunflower oil.
I believe you. Yes.
So
I believe
so
you.
we would get the oil from the kitchen, the used oil.
Right.
We would filter it, and we had adapted the engines to use that so that when we were paid out per kilometer through the organization, you were actually accruing money.
Wow.
You follow? So there were ways to beat the system, and so that was one of the ways that we would accrue money, because they would give you a reimbursement for your kilometers. But if you were using sunflower oil, well, basically you were getting that for free, and that was another way that you would accumulate money, because if the organization was paying you for kilometers for your field service, that was great. So you would maximize your allocation in the month, and you were basically being paid out. That was it. So that was one of the ways that the guys would travel around the world, was just by doing field service like that, and going, well, we will use the machine shop on Friday evenings to adapt our engines, our diesel engines, to do that. That's
amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
So there's the benefits, folks.
Well, that's nice. And some of them don't remember, or some of them don't even know what a carburetor is. It works by suction,
Yeah.
and underneath, on top of it, is your air cleaner.
Yes.
And some of them, I've seen this. The dimmer switch was a button on the floorboard.
Hmm.
Yep. Well,
Analog
Reading in
system.
them.
oh, dimmer switch, yeah. Floorboard.
So we
It was
learned.
done with your foot right in your hand.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my God.
And drum brakes instead of disc at one time. Sometimes it was front. Some of them had front disc and rear drum. Some of them all drum.
J Mars says I used to work at Sun Microsystems in the late 1980s in California as a kitter for parts in an assembly line.
Okay. So Sun Microsystems, yeah, they acquired Cray computers, didn't they? So that was that time period, and those Cray machines were doing the nuclear testing or all of that stuff. Yeah. So yeah, it was about that. Yeah. So 1980s, you would have had the early Cray computers. So the Cray computers, they had that fabric, which was the interfaces. So it was working on the atomic level. Incredible, and it had adaptive software there. It didn't matter what kind of operating system. It would adapt to whatever operating system, Unix, Linux, Windows, whatever OS2, whatever you throw at it, it would adapt. I mean,
Okay.
we're talking. I see that technology. I saw it coming out. I don't know, 2005, 2010. I saw it catching up because those were the computers. Those were the computers you didn't see. So the governmental computers, for instance, very, very sophisticated. I remember a computer from China. This was mid 90s. You would have a Nokia 6110 or whatever, or one of those early computers, and that would work as a terminal. So you would phone through to the government main computer, central computer, and you'd go, well, I don't have a computer. And they go, it doesn't matter. You just use the governmental computer. That'll be, so your cell phone becomes the dumb terminal. But you've got this
Wow.
incredible computing power. Yeah, you can run number plates, you can do tracking. There, the sophistication, that was mid 90s that we were doing that. So you
Okay.
would tap in. The other thing that you would tap into was HF signals as well. So you could tap into that on like an electric, I mean, on just a wire fence. The wire fence would work as your satellite communication receiver. Really, wire fence.
What kind of signals were those?
Long
What were they
range.
for? Okay.
So there was like military signals that you could get, free TV. There's all these.
Because I know the internet was used by the military before
Yeah.
it got released to
Yes.
civilians.
So we would
Is that
get
right?
we
Yeah.
would get satellite, like things like the weather. But I mean, that's why you take an oath of secrecy, because you can tap into the military signals just on a wire fence, and you'd unscramble it using.
I'm amazed at this stuff you're talking about.
Yeah,
It's
we were taught.
total-
We were taught.
Wow.
Look, when IBM in Africa, you go there and you consult with one of their IBM specialists. They have a gas gun underneath their desk. So it looks like an ordinary, you've got this consultation, nothing going on special. You make one wrong move, gas gun goes off. I mean,
What is a gas gun? What is a gas? I've never heard of a gas gun.
Paralyzes you.
Okay.
So if you in breach, or if they think that you're a problem, you're in IBM and that you're a problem, they just knock you out. I mean, that's some of these sensitive areas there in Africa with IBM. So when you're on those kind of levels, you realize when you've taken an oath of secrecy, you very, very careful with that. But I mean, it becomes very, very obvious. You can see where money is transferring. That's why you take an oath of secrecy, because if you're working for these systems and you're working for these security systems, you soon see how the economy is working. You soon see it, because you're seeing the packets of information, you're intercepting them, you're trying to, they tell you you're the good guy, you encoding it, you've got to encode all of that information. Yeah, so you are putting in the very, very systems. So I mean, it was when we had very, very low baud rate. I remember pulling in satellite information at like 300 bits per second off a wire fence. I mean,
That's amazing.
and then the post and telecommunications guys who are monitoring you saying, hey, listen, you've got an illegal antenna going on here, and you're going, well, come and take a look. And it's a closed line and it's a wire fence and it's wired up. But I mean,
that's amazing.
But it is one of those antennas that's pulling in that information. It was, 300. You'd go, this is painfully slow. So I think we were getting at that time about. Yeah, so if you're thinking dial-up, so remember, this was off radio, so that fluctuates according to atmospheric conditions and also line of sight. But we were using microwaves then, and you could send power through the microwave. So if you needed to energize certain systems, you didn't have to have a battery. You would energize it through the microwave. That was 90s, Linda James. It was the 90s.
J Mars says Trump 40 trillion in debt, or I'm assuming Trump is 40 trillion in debt. He's importing beef from an unknown country to help Americans with high prices.
That's probably us.
Okay.
Mongolia is the number one beef supplier globally. So if the U.S. is importing beef, chances are it's from Mongolia. Not sure, but that would be my guess. Because Trump is sure not going to get it from China. So
that would not surprise me. And at the end of this comment from J Mars, it has the emoji of the mind being blown. So I haven't looked into this, but I've screenshot this, and I am going to check it out so that I can be able to talk about it maybe next week. ICE has taken on this thing lately, these gloves that will, I forget their term that they use, subdue people. And these gloves are supposed to electrocute people to subdue them. I don't know what this is going to be like, and it sounds horrendous and horrifying. I don't know if it's like being, police officers have their stun gun, the kind of things. I don't know if it's going to be like that. I don't know if it affects the person in the gloves. I don't know, but I'm terrified of this and what's going to become, what's going to happen when the people that they're going after is debilitated. What will come next? I'm very, very concerned on what will come next, because what happens, from what I've noticed, is with ICE, they go on attack, and if you happen to do anything, they really react big time, and they kind of just ricochet off of each other. I don't know what's going to happen. Were you going to say something, Diamond Dave?
Yeah, so I looked it up. So it's actually Australia, New Zealand, Brazil, Canada, and Argentina.
Are the locations where the beef is coming from?
Correct. Yep.
Ah, interesting. Wow. Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's actually okay. Canada makes sense.
From unknown country. it makes sense that you could look it up and find it, but it also makes sense that J. Mars received the message as it being unknown. Like there's so okay when Trump gives us information, he wants a lot of it to be a mystery and to be non-specific, is what I've come to find. For instance, this ship that has been out for a long time, the Abraham Lincoln ship or something to this effect. People that are civilians or relatives of some of these people on the ship were trying to get messages to authority people within the government that the conditions within this ship and how long they had been on it had been too long, and people are jumping off the side of the ship, like 5 people did, and they were out of food and other necessities and things. One of the stories I heard was from, I believe it was a wife of one of the men on the ship who said he was feeling suicidal, and the doctor just kind of brushed him off. Now, I don't know if it's because the doctor, like that's what happens in the service and you're supposed to suck it up, or if he too, the doctor, wasn't ill-equipped to be able to help this guy because of everything being, they were out of everything, you know? And maybe I don't know. It was just things got bad, really, really bad. So when Trump was questioned about it, he was saying, no, that's not happening. Okay. And there's another ship going to replace him, which I believe is happening at this time. That transition is happening. And then he goes on to say they were out there, like they haven't been out there long enough. And so I'm used to hearing things like that, which sound extremely detached to situations that I've come to find are happening. That's why I was saying it in that manner.
Yeah, I've been seeing bits and pieces about that.
And I heard they have to sign to be able to even get off the ship, they have to be able to sign something to where they won't reveal their experience, which sounds sketchy. And it's when I hear these different things under different sources and read comments, some of the comments are like, yeah, these guys are supposed to be able to hang. They're supposed to be able to function through these situations. I've never been in the service. I don't know if that's the case or not. I just have this assumption and this expectation that if they're not in combat and they're on a ship or whatever, these military things, that they would be equipped with things, if they could be equipped with them. If they're in combat, I would expect them to, yes, come experience these conditions that we're hearing about. That would not surprise me. But to find out that they're not being cared for. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, yeah, the military isn't so much based on caring. It's like they were engaged in combat operations, which had America not started, that wouldn't have happened. A lot of the issues from what I've been seeing stem from the fact that Iran actually damaged the bases that were supposed to resupply the carrier and they couldn't dock.
Okay.
Because the carrier is a massive, massive target, right? So, given that Iran hit these bases and demonstrated it could hit these naval bases, for whatever reason, the decision was made to not put the only carrier in that region in harm's way.
Okay.
And so what I've been seeing is they're just kind of floating around aimlessly, until they can swap out with the I forget the name of the other carrier, but there's another carrier going out there.
Okay. This actually makes sense. And I haven't heard this, what you've brought up. That's fascinating. That actually makes things make sense. And when I say care, I don't mean like coddle. I mean like
Yeah.
to where they're not out
Oh,
of food or stuff that a
yeah,
ship
I
needs
get
or
that.
whatever. Yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that. I've even seen videos of like from like months ago, right? A few months ago, where
Hmm.
of just like hypersonic missiles striking the Navy, like the various bases America has over there, and then on top of that, there was videos of like sailors and Marines like taking like civilian flights out of those countries.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
So
They were wow. That's amazing. There was something else. So that actually makes some of this make sense. Thank you. I'll be
yep.
checking on that too. Thank you. One of the things that I'm wanting to talk about tonight is that okay, I'm going to go back to the being socially stunted, developmental um, arrested development, and that we are not. When we leave the organization, we have not been prepared to function in society at large, which is why I have this channel, is to help support people assimilate into society at large more smoothly. Okay, because I made a whole lot of mistakes thinking I knew what was going on, and people were very pissed off at me because I was acting socially inappropriate and thought I knew what the fuck was going on, and I had no clue. Okay, so I'm hoping that with my wisdom of my mistakes and my successes, that you might be able to function and have an easier route. And most of what I've learned was from shutting up my own mouth, okay, and hearing what people had to say and observing how society at large functions. We came from a culture where things that were okay within the organization, which was our normal, are not necessarily okay outside into society at large, um, at all. First off, we were never taught how to make friends because anybody that was a Jehovah's Witness was considered an automatic friend. If they're a Jehovah's Witness, they're safe. They're an automatic friend. Developing the friendship, creating trust, we never had to do that. So that's an area we're unfamiliar with. And it's awkward because we simply don't know how. So pay attention to how people do that. Pay attention to what's important to certain people and ask questions because it's going to help you understand different people individually and their expectations. And if you don't want to ask them questions, just observe and listen to them talk about maybe some friendships they've had and what they've thought of these friendships so that you can understand the expectation of that particular person because we are all uniquely different. The same routine will not work on everybody at all. So, and at the same time, we are developing our own um, character, uh, personality, which was not able to be developed because we weren't encouraged to pursue our own self pursuits. So when we would find ourselves interested in certain different things, a lot of the times it was told to us not to pursue them and to wait until the new system to pursue them. If we would have had a chance to pursue them, we would develop in our own who we are, our own personality, our own character, that would have developed better. But because we didn't get to, we are underdeveloped as far as knowing who we are. So when you leave the organization, you find yourself with some time. Yes, you might be an adult, and yes, you might be taking care of your responsibilities, parenting, working, what have you. But you also have a little bit more time now because you're not doing all of the meetings and you're not going out in service all that much. Okay. So if you have a interest that you are interested in and you were told before not to pursue it, consider pursuing it now. If it's through education, maybe there's an adult school class that you can take on, let's say jewelry making or woodworking or learning a certain instrument to play. Or if you are someone who enjoys doing sports, cities will often have a team of softball or different kinds of sports the city will have. There's also an app called Meetup. And within this app, you can find local people that have the same interests as you might have. So let's say I want to crochet with a crocheting needle, and I want to learn how, and I already kind of do know how. I'm going to find a local group of men and women who crochet, and I'll hang out with them, learn from them, talk with them, and that's going to help us develop friendships. Okay, we're going to learn from listening to the things they have to say and their wisdom, and it helps us to not remain isolated. The thing about growing up as a Jehovah's Witness or being in that culture, we did not live on a compound. We were taught to self-isolate and to only associate with Jehovah's Witnesses. So getting out and about and associating with people that are quote unquote worldly, which AKA bad, people of the devil, right? That's what used to compute in our brain. They're not of God, is a bit of a shift that might take some getting used to, and you might be nervous, and that's normal too. So the first few times that you are getting together with, say, these people that crochet, you might find yourself having high anxiety. You might find yourself nervous, trying to figure out where you enter the conversation. You might find yourself feeling very, very awkward and then extremely exhausted afterwards. That's normal too, okay? This is all very normal for someone who has not grown up in such a way to where they got more and more freedom, and became less and less dependent on our families and the organization to be able to leave. They made sure we remained dependent on the organization and our family so that we could not feel like we could leave. Go ahead.
Linda James, does JW also have its compounds?
Yes. Yes.
So there's a double thing going on. So this isolation happens within the whole religion, but they've also got some very special things too, in that they also have the compound situation as well. And if you talk about isolating, it becomes that extra layer of isolation even more. I mean, you talk about high information control in those compounds, which are known as Bethels and branches, places like that. I mean, even if you're on internet, it's closely monitored. If you happen to look at the wrong thing on their closely monitored, yeah. And I mean, you've got volunteers basically in a think tank monitoring all that traffic, all of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yes.
And those reports go through to the branch committee, and they've got to respond to things that have been flagged. I know because I was put onto some of those response committees, and you've got to go and talk to a sister about some of the websites that the branch committee has deemed inappropriate. Why? Because she was picking out lingerie between her and her husband. That was what she did. That was her crime. She picked out lingerie, and the branch committee took a look and said, "No, that's lewd."
And see, I think that's one of the most coolest stories ever.
None of their damn business.
It is none
I
of their
remember
business.
I had
And-
one
and
of I had
And
one
to
of
hear a
the
mature couple doing that is just beautiful to me.
yeah.
You know?
So one of the Gilead instructors said to me, Matt, I'm on this committee. We've got to go, and I have here is my assignment written. It's a written assignment, dispatched by the Admin 2000 or Hub system. He
Wow.
says I've got to go and talk to this. This is. He wouldn't say to me. He would just go, "Here's my telepathy," but his telepathy is, "This is ludicrous that I'm having to do this, and I have to do a report afterwards for something
Okay.
that's completely natural. I've got my daughter who lives just down the road. Thank God I had kids before I went on circuit work and stuff like this. Thank God, because this should never happen. But remember, these are the same people who go to Jupe Jeans and go, oh, that Michelangelo David, that's inappropriate because his phallic is a stitch that's about less than a millimeter big. You know, these are the same people who said, oh, well, you have a pornography problem because you wear these jeans. Remember?
I do remember this story.
So,
Yes. And listeners, so in Bethel or many places, Jehovah's Witnesses will get hand-me-downs. It's a very common thing. And Matthew had a pair of hand-me-downs that he found, and the trademark was on his back pocket.
that I
The
was given
trademark,
by the brothers and sisters. I was given them.
yes. And it was a trademark of Michelangelo, yes?
The David.
The statue. Oh, David,
yeah.
yes. So it was a very small nude. So as the story goes, you ask for a marker and you put pants on this little small emblem. I was expecting you to just mark the whole thing out, but the fact that you put pants on it was just even better.
I thought his
Just even
torso was
better.
very fetching. You know, he had lovely abs. And
Right.
yeah, you're right. Yes.
That could get you in more trouble, you know. But
Well,
still, it's,
I think some of the branch committee also found it fetching because that's the folks. Let's get real. That is the culture. That's the culture. They might say that that's not happening, but the boys do love to get together. So do the girls. So that's the culture. And I don't mean that to be offensive in any kind of way, but that is the reality. And bear in mind that I'm speaking from the JW mindset, which condemns that. All right? Yeah. So, Linda James, if I put that in a way that's lousy, I apologize, but that's the JW mindset.
I agree. And also, when you put a group of men together and they're young, healthy men and young, healthy women, there will be times that when some things are considered forbidden, there will be other alternatives that are also forbidden. But
well, where does Pillowgate come from?
Thank you. So that the whole thing about having to and calling everything self abuse, you know, is a tragedy. It's just a tragedy, right?
Yeah, it's awful.
When young men, especially when they first show up to Bethel, you know, 18 to 25, 26, this is a very normal time that just waking up is a dilemma. Okay, it's just a dilemma, especially for young men, and that to be stuck with the mindset of shame is a shame.
But it was women as well, Linda. I remember going out with a regular Pioneer sister, and she broke down. I'm like, what's wrong? She says, I'm filthy, dirty, and terrible. I go, what? No, what are you talking about? Yes, Matt, I'll tell you. It was the JW self-abuse thing.
Yeah.
So she felt she was worthy of destruction. And
Right.
she's confessing to an elder out in the ministry. Why? Because going, I trust you and I've got a problem. So this is it. Jehovah says to me that I've got to go and talk to an elder and you're it.
Yeah.
And I'm going, you go, Matt's liberal. I go, tell me, has Jehovah forgiven you? Yes. Then we don't need to talk about it more. But
Right.
the thing is, you know what would happen next? The sister goes, I don't trust you, Matt. I think we
Oh.
need to get the elders all together and you
Oh,
just
dear
dealing
God.
with this. So you're going,
Okay.
no, I tried to give you a way out. And now Matt
Right.
becomes the liberal elder who's a problem. Because
Exactly.
you're going, it's actually none, this shouldn't even get to that level. But that's the conditioning. That's the conditioning.
Yes. Yes, it is. And this is something I want to bring up, that there was a book, Young People Ask, where it taught that term self-abuse that Matthew's using, I call self-care. Self-abuse is something named by the Organization for Masturbation. This is incredibly forbidden, okay, and taught to be accompanied with shame and, like what she said, I'm dirty and, all this stuff. It's part of that. If a culture can keep you in shame, if a culture can keep you in guilt for things that are normal, it's not, you won't obsess about it so much. Okay, back to Young People Ask. This organization, and I know others do too, that are with the God kind of teachings, this organization taught that this masturbation could lead to homosexuality, which is something they've brought up again recently. Okay.
They used to go the step further. They would bring in the Manson example and say, oh, if you want to go down that route of pathology and sociopathic and psychopathic mindset, that's your road to it, because we've all been to the prisons and that's what they do.
Charles Manson.
This is what they'd say. If you want to go down the road of Charles Manson, masturbation, or as you say, self-care, but in JW speak, self-abuse, that's the road to it.
Oh my God.
They tell you, fill your head. This is where
wow.
this is how,
I did not know.
That's why you have a young sister distressed coming to Matt Gray out in field service and telling him something so personal, because she's going,
Right.
I never want to become a Charles
Sure.
Manson. She's
Oh
going,
my God.
and she's going, Matt, I have,
This
and
is
she's
such
crying.
mind fuckery. Okay.
She's crying her eyes out.
Yeah.
And I'm going, what do I do? And I'm going, I shouldn't be with a sister listening to this. I have to bring another, and it's just, it's not work. And I'm in this mental conflict and going, we should strict. And then I'm going, no, we have to get past it. Matt Gray goes, sister, please don't worry about it. It's over.
Yeah.
It's finished. Jehovah, God of love, you ain't a problem. I'll tell you from my experience, branch committee, they've all done this. They're probably even doing this now. I know you can't believe this, and this just sounds terrible, but I know from what I've walked in on, I know the culture. So please, but you start talking that way, they're going, that's not what you need to hear. That would be inappropriate to share that kind of revelation for somebody who's distraught like this and who's been programmed by the system.
Right. Diamond Dave has do you recall any of the Mormon teachings along those lines of, if this behavior will take you to this other undesirable characteristics or anything?
So that was like in the 80s. That's long been walked back.
Okay.
That's been walked back pretty hard, actually.
Okay.
I do recall there was like, I want to say the most recent thing was like in the 90s or 2000s, there was an apostle who gave a conference talk about, like, oral sex between a husband and wife is a sin. And there was so much backlash from married women that they just took took it down.
Wow.
Like it was yeah. So I mean,
To think
Mormonism,
married women gave feedback and they let it go. Wow.
yeah. I mean, there was obviously married men too, but like I remember watching Mormon Stories podcast did an entire like thing on it, and like there was backlash from like everybody to where
Wow.
they just couldn't, you know, keep it.
Yeah, the organization has taken that stance as well, and it was because it was thought of as being homosexual behavior, right? So that's why it was not to be that way. But I believe at this time that no longer is the case, or people are not being held to this any longer. What do you think, Matthew? Can you tell? Do you know?
Thanks for that. I wanted to just respond to Purple, because Purple says, wondering if this is where that weird thing started, that some guys think touching themselves makes them gay. I remember a talk. Now bear in mind who's qualified to teach. Bear in mind. So, I mean,
I
you
want
can
to
have...
just let me just say real quick, this is something that this organization has used, but I don't think that this one was the only one. I think this is something that got passed around within religions. Yeah. Okay, please go on.
So there was the Manson connection. Oh, this is the kind of road that you would go down. But you remember how we talk about narcissistic control? But this is the inversion that would happen. They would go, if you're involved in self-abuse, this is narcissism. They'd tell you this because they go, this is your self-love. It's an inflated self or sense of self-importance. Yeah, you admire yourself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're going this. So that's why they go, this is a perversion. They're going, no, this shouldn't happen. This is unnatural.
Yeah.
And yet, you know, you travel around enough, like Matt did, and you go through all the various places. You go, this is just human nature, folks. It's human nature.
There's been like studies that like I was saying earlier. So let me say somebody else. So there's Dan and Angela Clark. They've visited this channel quite a few times. Angela was a prison guard at one time, and she would speak of this as being gay for the stay. Okay, during the time they're in a locked up situation, whether in jail, whether in prison, they would be gay for the stay during that time. That would happen. And then afterwards, they would not be with a same-sex partner as they were while they were in there. But then there are people that would be continue on that way. So it was that can happen and does happen.
Sure.
But go ahead.
Well,
what did you want to share?
I don't know how to talk about this on your show, but I'm just going to give you my lived experience, if that's all right.
Sure.
So traveling out to different countries, isolated areas, mixed cultures, middle class, upper class, lower class, whatever. I've been involved in all of these sectors. So in USA or westernized cultures, lesbianism, this is just, oh my goodness, it's a controversial thing, or homosexuality is controversial. Africa, it's no, wait a second. I would walk in. I'm living in a house, and all the girls are all on top of each other. Why? Because it's the culture. We all love each other. We kiss each other. This is what happens, and we feel safe. We're all friends here. We all feel safe, and it's very, very intimate.
We all feel safe.
Yes, and then we get married and we carry on. We don't even think about it. Don't even give it a thought. It's only if you come into their minds, oh, this is what you labeled. What? What are you talking about?
Right?
Yes. Men, you go, Matt, are you, because that was the big accusation for me. Matt, you need to get married. Why? Because you're a big raving, from their words.
Raving.
Yeah.
Oh
you're
my
a big
God!
raving,
Wow. Okay.
slobbering homosexual. This is what I'm getting. Going, what? Where are you getting this from? Why? Because I'm out in ministry and I've got death threats and I've got to stay in other people's houses. I remember. This is the now. I'm going to give you the positive spin. Somebody who gives up their home because they go, you're in danger. You can sleep on my bed.
Wow.
And there's a row of men, I don't know, like 6 men, like what's it, black slave trade, when you see these pictures of the guys all lined up close together, it's, on a boat, right, during the slave.
Right.
We were living like this. And they've given me the honor. They've given me the honor of saying, Matt, you're welcome to stay here because we know there's death threats and you're in trouble. We've made sure you've got the edge of the bed because we don't want to make you feel uncomfortable.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Now I'm homosexual, right? Because I slept there overnight and we were on the same bed. But again, you got to take this into the cultural perspective. And the other thing too is there's certain rituals where, I mean, if you want to go into Freudian or Jungian thing where have you ever heard kill your parent? It's the psychological.
That's Freud, right? Freud.
Right.
Or
so I'm not.
Freud
please,
or the Doors. Okay.
So we're not endorsing going kill your parent, folks. But
No.
we're talking from a psychological point of view. So there's certain rituals here in Africa. Okay. I mean, it's not unique to Africa, where they will perform this ritual in a metaphorical sense, where they've killed the parent, or they'll be involved in what in the West it goes a homosexual act or something like this. And they're going, no, this is to undo the mind, to free the person from like parental things that could cause a psychosis. So they're going, well, no, this is just natural within the culture in order to push the person further for you want to say psychospiritual evolution, just to get past all of that kind of stuff. So they lose the taboos. So in the West, they put it on you as a taboo, and you're going, oh, this is a harmful. In Africa, they're going, no, we go through this thing so that it's not a problem. And it's like, well, what are you talking about? We passed this. Yeah, we did this in our youth. We passed this. We happily married. We got our kids. Things go on. We don't even give it another thought.
It almost sounds rite of passage.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And the guys on service desk, like my instructor used to say, oh, Africa's full of this. We would be disfellowshipping everybody. The reality is we would just disfellowship everybody because this is what it goes. Your elder that's standing up, or the circuit overseer, oh yeah, they don't even give it another thought. I said, but if you started investigating the life, it says this is why the so-called horror stories come up, because he goes, oh, but I was always approved by Jehovah, and this is where I came from, and this is my culture. Yes, okay. Folks.
Yeah.
Yes. That's it. But you see, this kind of analysis is not done in JW. It's not transparent. It's not transparent. It's more transparent if you work service desk, because you're getting this information in, and you're getting to see the reports, because it's a big spy network, right? So you know the intimacies of people. And
right.
I would see it in India. I would go to Sri Lanka or Mumbai or wherever, and I'd go, I see the parallels that are occurring there. So yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. So I think we have very, very different views. But then there's another thing too. Like if you are caught up in certain, I know it sounds like contradictions, but if you're caught up in certain forms of homosexuality, you say, oh, I am married to somebody of the same sex, though you've gone through those rituals, then that's taboo. So
right.
Africa, there's these weird contrasts and conflicts, and you go, but you went through that right up. Yeah, it gets very weird. It gets very weird. So there's certain things like cleanliness. There's certain rules that maybe I would do as a Westerner that in African society they go, this is dirty, it's filthy, what do you think? And you're going, What are you going off about? Oh, I remember I had an electric razor. The guys
Okay.
freaked about this. They're going, this is so filthy what you're doing. Going, why? Because they're going, no, the hair, we're breathing in the particles. They're imagining that they're breathing in the particles or something. And they're
That it's
going, this is
flying around in
rude.
the air.
Oh,
Yes.
this is
Okay.
rude. It's taboo. No, that's unnatural. You got, you know. And I'm going, can we calm down about this? You know, so there's certain things that you trigger, and also like the way you wash hands, and you know, they could bring a bowl and wash everybody's hands together. That's acceptable, you know. And then there's other ways that you would wash that they go, no, this is taboo. This is wrong. You know, so you got to understand those cultural kind of differences. And I know it sounds like it just fights against some of the things, doesn't make sense, but anyway.
Right. But we have somebody here, RFK Jr., who doesn't believe in germs, like doesn't believe germs exist. So we see him in pictures of this area where there's water and stuff that literally has signs that tell people and the public that it's a drain off for people's toilets and stuff. And he takes his family there and grandchildren there and swim in that water because he don't believe in germs. Okay, this is who's in
Is
charge of
this the
our
man
health.
that had the worm on the brain?
Yes, this
Okay.
is the man in charge of our health. And one of the latest things he's been talking about is not prescribing antidepressants. From what I've gathered, he was talking against antidepressants, and then it was like trying to get it to where not necessarily people that are already on it to get off of it, but rather not to prescribe so much of it in the future. I believe this man is very much tied in with Scientology because the people he worked with at that lawyer place, they were all Scientologists. This is Scientology talk. Here's a bunch of vitamins, okay? Don't take anything from a psychiatrist. They're dangerous. This is L. Ron Hubbard's teachings through and through. And that's what I'm hearing from him. I'm hearing the correlations.
That's also very common in various Christian circles too in America.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there is. That's true. Some Christians will consider that actually to be a weakness if you take medication when it can be like you can pray it away or
it's
be
considered a
tougher.
sin. It's
Yes.
a sin because of pharmakia, sorcery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's true too. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
RFK Jr. has some interesting points, but I never believed he's in charge of our health. Because I mean, we can look at the opposite, right? Like when Obama was in office and Michelle Obama did a whole national thing to, you know, have students eat healthy. Nobody did it. Like the students didn't even choose to eat healthy.
Right.
I remember
They-
those days.
Yeah,
I
they told her
remember
to
those days.
They told her to shut up and go to her garden. I remember that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, schools, so adults did that, but schools actually implemented her program and they found that it actually wasted money because a lot of the students, like many high schools, will let you go off campus for lunch, right?
Yes.
And so many
Yes.
schools implemented that, but the problem was not only did the kids who would go to McDonald's for lunch, they didn't eat school lunch, but now more kids are like, we don't want to eat this, we want to go to McDonald's. So
Right.
they went off. And it
Mhm.
just completely backfired, not so much politically, but just because it doesn't matter, in my opinion, if it's like Michelle Obama or RFK Jr. People are going to do
Right.
what they're going to do
Yeah.
regardless. So
This is true. I totally agree with you. And from my recollection of when I was in high school, if you were a senior or maybe even some juniors, so the last 2 years of high school, 11th grade and 12th grade, you were allowed to go off campus for lunch, and you
Mhm.
just had to be back in time to go to your next class. That was allowed. Those that were younger, not allowed. Were you going to say something, Matthew?
No, thanks for that, Linda James. I appreciate you inviting me there. But no, I was going to go on to a subject that's different. It was sexual mutilation, which is part of the culture, because Jay Mars was talking about African IFA, and I don't know what he's talking about. I only know of like the Nigerian kind of connection, but I think it requires being specific. I did come across rituals where there's the idea of mutilating genitalia is there's the idea that it curbs sexual desire and that it's a good thing. I mean,
Right.
the persons in the congregation, men and women, would endorse it, and I would be horrified. I'd be absolutely.
Right.
Oh, and they would do it at the branch. They would get it performed at the branch. Oh my word! And it was a tribal thing.
Yes.
And oh my word! Anyway,
It's cultural. Yes.
Men and women, and they've mutilated themselves. But they and again, it's mindset, and some going, well, we're happy about this. It's just like, oh,
Wouldn't it also be called female circumcision?
Yeah. There's, and I remember going, what do I know about this? What do I know about this? Well, being an elder, I got to know all kinds of stuff that they would do, and again, what you would call lesbianism in the West, you're going, but this is like a rite of passage, and the women perform this on themselves, and it gets creative. Okay. It gets very, very creative, and I don't want to be too graphic about it, but this would also mark you culturally. So, yeah. But
fascinating.
I'm only just responding to John, and I'm going, I don't know about it. You'd have to be specific.
You know, those few things that you brought up is something that, okay, there's this thing about shame with a woman having pleasure during these times of intimacy. And it has this kind of root cause with Eve and eating of the apple and and the women are the temptress and they're the weaker vessel. And they should be punished because they caused sin to come into this world. So they should not be, experiencing this pleasure. And it all kind of just comes down the slot. And there's shame also with a woman doing the pursuing of that intimate time too. And every time you've mentioned that where you're at, women pursue the men, I'm always blown away because it's so.
Ooh,
I mean,
you
yes,
really know the mindset, Linda James. I'm sitting here going, you've tuned into where I'm coming from. I mean, if a woman comes to and proposes to me and says, "Oh, by the way, I'm going to cut everything off for you," and I'm going, "No, please do not."
Right?
And she's, this is one of the greatest expressions, one of the most personal expressions I could do for you.
Wow.
I'm going,
that's
please
amazing.
do not cut anything.
Wow.
On this for my sake, to get my attention. Please do not.
That is wow. Wow.
But you were going down this path, right? You were going down, they pursue, and she's proud, and I'm horrified. Okay, but we all do this. No, not with me. Please don't cut pieces off anything.
Yeah, and it's So it's
sorry.
Enough of this. I'm going to go back to.
Thank you.
Politics.
Sorry, folks.
Okay.
Go ahead, David.
Politics.
Did you want to share?
I was just gonna say you're going back to politics.
Nice, clean, dirty politics. Yeah.
A little bit, but also that we when we're in high control places that developing is part of our healing. Okay. So making mistakes is okay. Um, get up and go again. Okay. Um, most of the time, the mindset within cults is when you make a mistake or you do something wrong, it amounts to terrible, terrible consequences, terrible, terrible negative consequences. Whereas now, after you've left a culture like that, your consequences get to be whatever happens. If I run a red light, I'm going and if I get a ticket from a police officer because I ran a red light, that's going to be my negative consequence. It's not going to amount to shame with God. I'm going to have a natural consequence of possibly getting a ticket because I broke the law. That's a normal thing to have happen. And it helps me change my behavior. Getting that ticket, for it to cost me money, is going to help change my behavior. So when you make your mistakes and you get your negative consequences, just think of it as maybe it's helping you change your behavior to something more socially acceptable, like stopping at the red light, or when you see the yellow light, just stop because it's getting ready to turn red and stop ahead of time. And I'm just using that as an example. So making mistakes is okay. Let the consequences happen. It's not the end of the world. But these are, I know I'm talking simple stuff, but this is the kind of stuff we have to experience. And I know it seems like I'm talking to a little child, but we kind of leave as a little child mentally. Okay. Even though we have physically grown to the age that we are socially, or like I said earlier, developmentally arrested, meaning our development got arrested. So it got stalled for a while. So now we get to grow in our development and we are behind. It's normal for us to do crazy stuff, inappropriate stuff because we're behind. That's really the point I want to make, and to not feel guilty about it. That's the main thing I'm wanting to say. And paying attention to your intuition and how you're feeling at certain times, because we had schedules that had us go, 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 go. And I believe one of the reasons why people do not wake up and realize that the culture they're in is not serving them well is because they're behind in everything. Okay. And they're trying to catch up and they don't have time to lean back and relax, have a thought, actually finish it, and have a few more thoughts after that. That got to happen during the time of the pandemic for many reasons. Okay. Some people were out of a job. Uh, some people went to church remotely. We weren't doing as much as we were when we were working and everything was wide open. And a lot of people went through different changes in their lives. Many people realized they were in abusive relationships. Um, Men and women were out of work. You know, it became super stressful. And I can remember psychologists just everywhere saying, call us. They didn't talk about the price. They said, call us. Okay. Why? Because they knew that we were getting ready to go into a zone that was going to be what it is like to experience being shunned. We were going to be self-isolating if that was what, we did. We were going to be experiencing the lack of socializing. And the fact is um, we are social people. So when we take ourselves out of society and not socialize, it's going to affect our psyche in a very negative way. Okay. Some people are more introverted. Some people are more extroverted. Those that are more introverted could hang a bit easier during that
Oh,
time.
we had fun during COVID. I miss COVID. I will just say that right now.
Yes.
I want to go back to that. No traffic on the roads. I worked in banking and finance at the time. So like we had papers because we were an essential worker, and
Mhm.
the banks were appointment only. And
Okay.
no one, so at Wells Fargo in Minneapolis, what happened was no one was making appointments. And because smaller branches had less like customer flow, they shut
Mhm.
down. And I think it was a St. Anthony branch. It's a little branch in like a strip mall, right? They came with us. So we had 8 bankers and 3 desks, right? We had 14 tellers when there normally would be 5 at max capacity. And we were all
Mhm.
playing Pokemon Go in the back room, and unless one of us had an appointment. And we
I
got
love
paid
it.
for it.
Yeah, I love it.
I miss it. It was great.
And I hear you. And I've noticed that after, um, different businesses have carried on with doing things remotely. Like I like how what you were saying, you were taking certain appointments at certain times. So
You know,
whatever happened once they walked into the bank, and my daughter was working in a hair salon, and
mm,
they had a plastic shield plus the mask, and she was working at a Supercuts, which is the name of the place she worked for. They are known as like the McDonald's of the haircutting industry, where you get fast food fast. But during that time, they added a whole orchestrated sanitary ritual to do in between each client. And the clients had to wear their mask and the whole nine. And so, like you're like where you were working, yes, they were accepting some people, but they had all these conditions. But again, it was because these therapists knew that they were going to be in situations where society at large, many of them would be experiencing what um, shunning or being ostracized is like, which also meant higher cases of people unaliving themselves. So they knew that was coming too. So they,
I have a
again,
hot
weren't
take about that.
okay. So they didn't talk prices. They just say, call us. What is your hot take? Go ahead, Dave.
My hot take is that's because people in America don't know how to be alone. Everyone goes out to bars, everyone goes out to nightclubs. People don't know how to sit and process and like just be by themselves, right? Because when you're by yourself, you are with yourself. You're with your feelings, you're with your thoughts, you're especially with your insecurities. Many people in America don't do that. They go off to bars, they run off to the mall, they go off to the movies, or they like binge watch Netflix, right? And that's why I've been like following when I was in America, I was following online how other countries were handling it. And people like Norway, Finland,
Mm-hmm.
other countries. I mean, sure, it was hard kind of on people. But especially in like European countries like Norway and Finland, where people prefer to be alone and they prefer that reflective solitude, there was no problems. But in America, it's like, oh my God, I can't go to the strip club anymore. What do I do? And then people just had this big
Right.
meltdown. Right.
Yes. Yes. It used to be, and see that falls in. Do you think it falls into line with that being busy, 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 and never taking that time to sit back, take a deep breath, and be with your own thoughts? I think
Exactly.
so too.
Yeah. Because like with Mormonism, they do like they slam you with callings and callings and callings, and you don't have time to sit and like feel how tired you are. You're literally running on adrenaline.
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, I experienced that at work a couple points, and even now being here, looking back at my life in America, like I was running on adrenaline, and I didn't realize how like tired I was until I actually
Right.
like stopped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely. And when we're younger, of course, our performance level is much higher, which is to be expected. So anyways, there's a From what I've heard, there's a loneliness epidemic amongst men. So I'd like you guys to look into why that is. Why is there a lonely epidemic within, and I think it's within Western society, it could be further than that, but why is there a lonely thing that they're going through, that men are going through? I'm just curious to hear what people would think.
Which kind? Because there's the loneliness epidemic when it comes to general friendships, but there's also like a loneliness epidemic with romantic relationships, and those are actually two different things.
You're right. Those are two different things. And check into both of them. But yeah, I can tell you already have some thoughts. What are your thoughts, Dave?
Honestly, I think it's much ado about nothing.
Okay.
Because like people say, men have a loneliness epidemic, and it's like, well, why aren't men doing something about it? Right? that's kind of my first question, right? Even when it comes to like friendships, go to a bar, shoot pool, smoke some cigarettes, you can make friends. It is very easy to make friends, right? Like, and I get there's like people with executive function issues where like that's very challenging to get out the door. Sure, fine.
Actually,
generally speaking, though, right? Generally speaking, right? You're at work. Talk to people at work. Find people with hobbies. If you don't have a hobby, find one and meet people online, right? And that's kind of that's like my take on like the friendship side. It's like just get out there, start making friends. It's really not hard. You're the one holding yourself back, right? And then when it comes to like the romantic stuff too, I think men and women in America have these ridiculously bizarre high standards that are just stupid, right? They don't want necessarily a partner. They want like, I don't know. They have like this idealized version of this is the perfect husband or this is the perfect wife. And then they focus within this little box. And that's not how reality works at all. So, I mean, I don't know. I do think a lot of it is, I do think there's something there, but I also do think a lot of it's overblown too. And I think that's just coming from the noisy minority of like people on both sides, right? The noisy minority of YouTuber influencers who bash men or men who are incels and all they do is complain, right? I think generally, I think it's no different than really any other time.
Okay.
Purple kind of touched on what I was getting at too in the chat.
Okay. Unreasonable high standards for women, but think they never need to do anything to prove themselves. Oh my. Okay. Yeah. Let me take that one because yeah. Much of the problem of men unable to find romantic partners is they have unreasonable high standards for women that think they never need to do anything to improve themselves. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. Happy Thought says, people need to feel peace in any way that is comfortable to them, not having to please others. What happens if women start thinking like this? Okay, then they might not need men. And if they now are in the workforce and are making enough money to support themselves, that's another reason to not need men. But men are definitely an available choice. But it's not a position of they have to be in a position of being dependent upon men for their survival. Okay.
Well, for marriage specifically, in society, we're all kind of dependent on each other for survival.
I, for the most part, if it's a situation where one person in the partnership is bringing in the income and the other one is relying
Yeah.
on the income and doing the labor and the work and in the home, and if the relationship turns abusive, the one without the one with that is in the position of their livelihood and their children's livelihood depends on the financial of the possible abuser, they are stuck. There isn't a balance. There's an unbalanced
Yep.
situation.
We are in agreement on that. Yes.
So that shows up, or that can show up in other situations too. And it's an abuse of power and abuse of authority. And within a society that's a hierarchy and a patriarchy, the men being the authority and the women being taught to submit to the godly authority, that can work. But when it doesn't work, it's very bad. And a lot of times, I don't know exactly how all men think, but what Purple was talking about, I think she's really brought up something that the men a lot of times do not think in a manner of how they need to change in order to be in a relationship. But women often have that mindset that they will be needing to change if they have a job or if they are in college, and it's been taught to them that the whole purpose of the woman is to be there for the man, to have their children, this, that, and that. They will give up these things. A man will never think that way at all to get married. That doesn't enter their minds. So I think these are really good points that she's bringing up. Honestly, I do believe there has been an uptick in the number of women identifying as lesbians because they have given up on men. Yeah, that's too bad. Hello, Natasha. I hear many times on the internet men saying they want to wind things back. Okay, yes, this is happening as we speak. And when women cannot have their own bank accounts is exactly what Christian nationalism is heading towards, is wanting. That's the plan for the women, to be in a position of being totally dependent upon the men. They don't have their own bank accounts.
That's a great way to kill your economy.
Yeah.
50% of the workforce and 50% of that wealth and assets just gone overnight. Cool. Let me know how that works out for you.
And I hear you. And I'm also learning about certain things of it, and I don't have the receipts with me today, but things are being shifted in such a way that it's easier for men to get in positions of engineering and things like these positions, and it's going to be less available for women. And that's kind of a shift that's happening within patriarchy and hierarchy. And again, this realm of Christian nationalism, which I think is about 30 to 35% of society at large. And I do not think that every person that considers themselves a conservative falls under that zone. I'm not talking about the ordinary conservative person that hits their local church every Sunday, sits in the pews, good guy, good woman, don't care for the government in their back pocket kind of person. I'm talking about the kind that are changing the laws for minorities and women to be losing their rights, and we're already watching it happen. So those of us that don't want that to happen are not going to let it happen. So we have to be intentional on how we will counteract this extremist side of conservatism. Some people will call it MAGA, where the women are definitely not thought of as equal and in a position of becoming dependent, fully dependent on the men for their survival, which also means the children are as well. So there's that.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of interesting news coming out of America the past year.
Yeah.
So
this StreamYard that you just posted,
yeah,
Diamond Dave,
yeah,
whose StreamYard is that for?
that's yours. Natasha
okay.
said she was hoping to say a word. There's no link, so I just put it
Okay.
in.
I appreciate that. So I have it pinned. It used to be pinned up at the top, but now it's pinned at the bottom. That's where you can find the link in the future. And thank you, David. I did not know that was happening. Thank you for putting that out there.
Oh, no worries.
And I was hoping to be able to say a word. Okay, there's no link. Thank you. J. Mars says, my opinion, our society is confusing our government politics altogether, and politicians are creating chaos on both sides of the two-party system.
Thank you.
I hear you. I really do hear you. I really do, sweetheart. Thank you, John.
That's
for
why
saying.
I was like apolitical when I lived in the U.S. just because it's like it's bad what Trump is doing. It's also just terrible on both sides because they're all just feeding off of each other. And then you have the corporate lobbyists, you have the super PACs that make hundreds of millions of dollars, and the average everyday person suffers, right?
Yes. Yes. So in the midst of all of this stuff which is going on, there is a realm that's intended to take the women down to a place of total dependence. There's also something else I want to bring up. Black people are being lynched, okay? And it's hardly at all in the news. And they're being called suicides, okay? This is the thing. Black people do not hang themselves from trees at all, ever, because of the history of lynching. If they are in the place of unaliving themselves, they will choose another way, never this way. And it's an assumption, and an understandable assumption, that that is being done in a manner of white supremacy, in a manner of oppression through the white supremacy of keeping the black people down. I don't know if you all have noticed, but during this time of like these No Kings protests and stuff, the African American community has pretty much stayed out of it. And so they've spent many, many years trying to get through to us. And many, many, times of hearing people say, if you just, pull yourself up by the bootstraps and all this stuff. Hi, Natasha.
Hi, Natasha.
So if you just pull yourself up by the bootstraps, culturally, we have seen men and women in the African American communities have
Hello,
over time.
James, apostate.
Hi.
Babe.
Yes. Hi. I just want to finish this one thing, and then I want to talk to you. Okay?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me. So, okay. If you just pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Okay. So turn off your YouTube, please. We're going to figure this out in a minute. I just want to finish this one thing. So basically, to finish it out, when Black people bring success in many different ways, it gets taken down, it gets destroyed, and other situations that I have no clue about. Okay? So the story of just pulling themselves up by their bootstraps can apply in some situations, but sometimes when there's no boots, there's no bootstraps. So Natasha isn't here. Okay, I thought she was here. So she'll probably try to come back in. So I've only looked into it, and I only have friends that have talked to me about things going on, and I've researched it. I don't know if I'm equipped to know enough about what's happening in the African American culture right now here in the U.S. to be able to talk much more about it, but I just want to bring awareness to the fact that there's lynchings happening, and they're being called suicides, and you'll hardly hear about it on the news, and you have to look for it. Literally look for it, and you'll find them. And bottom line, strange fruit. Black people do not hang themselves on trees. There's that. Okay. Did anybody have anything they'd like to share?
Linda James, where are you getting these reports coming from? Is it? Am I asking an awkward question?
No, you're not.
It's been in the U.S. news. It's typically more in local community news, not like national news, not like CNN or like Fox News, but it's more like local news to a city.
Okay, so it's not suppressed.
No.
It's not suppressed, but you need to look for it. So it's probably not going to come up on your feed as national news. One gal, this happened on church property. You know, another situation, it took a fire truck to get this person down, which somebody said that implies it took a fire truck to get them up there. I don't know how this all happens, but
are we getting to
not
accurate reporting of motivations?
See, motivation is not showing up in these articles because they are assumed to be suicides. So no need for an investigation if there has already been accomplished suicide.
So it's just, so the motivation is an unhappy person. I'm tired with life. Bye world. Goodbye cruel world. That's the motivation that's coming through.
That's the story that's being told.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been going on forever. Because Purple brought this up, but you know, hearing about the lynching, because she had friends in Alabama and Georgia. I used to live in Coosa, Georgia, Rome, Georgia, right about 40 minutes from the Alabama line. Rome, Georgia is still a sundown town. I've heard of the lynchings back in like 2015. Like maybe it was even like 2013 when I was there. But it hasn't stopped. So it's just, it happens.
So a sundown town listeners, a sundown town means if you're a black person, you should not be caught out on the street anywhere in public after the sun goes down. It's not safe. That's what a sundown town is. Purple says, I've heard about the lynchings, but only because I have friends in Alabama and Georgia. Mm-hmm.
I think Kennesaw, Georgia still has like a KKK store. Like you can get robes, like, because that was a thing when I was living there and it was like all over the news, right? And people were freaking out. I'm pretty sure that's still there.
Okay. So with the rise of, there is a rise of the KKK during this last 10 to 15 years. So much so that I believe it was 3 to 4 years ago, the next city over had flyers dropped off in their yards for coming up KKK rallies. Okay. I've lived out here for 25, maybe longer years. Never, ever, ever heard of such a thing. It's on the rise. And that's something I've also learned about the KKK. There have been times when they rise and then they fall, then they like rise and then they fall. And I think so far there's been 3 times, maybe 2, but 3 times. And I believe we're in another season of them rising. Yeah, so there's that. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because with the hierarchy and with the idea of the patriarchy, there's also that white supremacy thing going on as well with the Christian nationalism, to where they're wanting to make basically the bottom line is, if they don't get women to have enough white babies in enough time, the white man will become the minority. That's the bottom line. That's really what's going on here. But they're going to call it God, all kinds of stuff. Okay? And they're going to convince women to submit. And if that's a thing you want to do, you want to be a homemaker and you want to be raising babies, and that's your choice, I'm all for it. But if it's not, do not get caught up in the shame and the blame because you're not being a proper woman. And that's all too associated with what I was talking about earlier, women not being able to be comfortable in the pleasure aspect of the lovemaking. But the men are due. They have their dues, and we are to make sure their dues are taken care of. You see the imbalance of power and authority? That's where it's going. Okay. And it is not popular to talk about this, and I have I hate the injustice. I grew up in Los Angeles County. My mother grew up in Compton, which is next to Watts, which is where the Watts riots happened. Okay. When I lived in Los Angeles County, there was the LA riots. Okay. In 1992. Had to do with Rodney King, things like this. I watched a man with blonde long hair named Reginald Denny get yanked out of his truck on the corner of Florence and Normandy, and these black men beat the crap out of him because of what had built up with things that had been going on in court. But there was also black men that got rid of the black men that were beating him up. And he was taken to the hospital and stuff. And by the time he was in court, Reginald Denny had already forgiven them, and his hair was this long, okay, all over his head. I remember this very well. But I remember the horror I experienced watching this white man with long blonde hair being yanked out of his diesel truck. And I got why it was all happening. So anyways, I'm against the injustice, and I get why these riots happened. And again, Black people do not hang themselves from trees. So what kind of subject could we go to next? Does anybody have any ideas?
We covered so much in one episode.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
we have.
certainly do. Yeah, I was just trying to absorb that. I was thinking of South Africa vigilante justice and what is the equivalent here, and what goes on here. But yeah, I can't really comment on.
That's another thing. I'm not calling for vigilante. I'm still like, do everything.
No, you're going, this thing's disturbing. Yeah, sure.
Right.
No.
If it comes to your face, yes, protect yourself. If it comes in your face, definitely. And what's so weird is being raised a Jehovah's Witness, we were taught to turn the other cheek. We were taught to never own any kind of weapons or nothing. We were really taught to receive abuse.
Mm.
So having a new attitude means recognizing abuse and not putting up with it. That's part of our healing journey as well. I know I've taken it to a level of, oh, okay. Natasha, China is much a better choice. Okay. Don't ever tell me that it can't be done. I will get it done against injustice. Yep. I love that attitude. Don't tell me I can't, because I will pave the way to make a way. Yes. I can remember being in high school, and I got to be in this talent show, and they would always put me last to end off these talent shows, first and last. And I remember it was a drama teacher who was putting on this talent show, and him saying, we're going to have to cut off the last 4 things that were in the show because it was running long. And I remember I got my nerve up to say, then you're going to have to pay back these 4 rows of people because they came here to see us. I'll never forget. It was because I was told no. That, like, I don't even know where that came from, but I remember being super confident and just saying a matter of factly, that's the way it is. And he just looked and he went, okay, we can do it. Like, he didn't argue with me or anything. He just was like, okay, the show's going to go along. So I stood up for myself, and it was a very successful time. So that was very fun. And it was the Pat Benatar song. And from what I hear, my grandmother was there, my mother was there. And my mother says that my grandmother said, see, it's not all that bad, because it started off slow. And then it went kind of hardcore for Pat Benatar. I'm sorry, I interrupted you, Matthew. You were like talking
Not
away.
at all. I'm enjoying the chat, and I sort of think, well, what can I say? I'm learning. Yep, I'm learning here, folks.
Me too. We could, is there anything on your mind that you want to talk about, Matthew? Or are you kind of in a zone of relax and just kind of...
Yeah, you know, Linda James, sometimes just being present is just really cool. And that's how I honestly feel. I'm hanging out with Linda James. I'm hanging out with the crew or the persons who are interested in the live chat. And, you know, I just go, this is cool. I don't think I'm coming across as, you know, hell of a tired, am I? You know.
No, that's why I was asking you.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes
cool.
after a while, I'll because I recognize what I see on you. It's just kind of like you've been taking in stuff that's kind of new. Yeah, I'm learning stuff. Like you said, I'm learning stuff.
Mm.
When I take in new information that I haven't given thought to, it's kind of, I get that look as well.
Yeah,
Definitely.
because I'm trying to think about what you're talking about with the baby making ideas, and yeah, I can see how that's important. But then while I'm going through the process, I'm also going, but isn't there a population reduction program going on?
Exactly.
So
I dare say
so I'm trying to
ICE getting those that they're being put into detention camps, I've been calling them concentration camps, is a form of ethnic cleansing. And it makes me wonder, November for the United States, there's a midterm election. All these people in detention camps won't be able to vote now, will they? Because it is not only those that government has said are undocumented.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm also thinking just general population reduction on the planet. I mean, isn't that supposed to be a thing?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where to start commenting on this one. It's just.
Yeah, it's a quandary, isn't it? And then being confused. Is that the plan? Like, is that the purpose? We're hearing these two different things, right?
Well, okay. So, I mean, you're talking about AI, robot production. Hello, Natasha.
Hi, Natasha.
Hello.
Hi.
That's nice and clear, Natasha.
Oh, you can hear me now.
Yes.
Good to be with you.
Hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody out there?
Out there. Yes.
Yes, we are.
Glad
Well,
you
you guys.
persevered.
What's on your mind, Natasha?
Oh my goodness, so many things. I have a new project in my head, but it's gonna happen. We have lots in my little town in British Columbia, Canada. We have lots of people from India working here.
Okay.
And lots of guys, lots of dudes. We have top five women. One of them is my friend, and she made me a tattoo on my hand.
Yes. Yes, I do know what you're talking about.
Between
It's
two.
called henna tattooing. Henna.
Yes. She did it on my hand between two customers, because I always go there to talk to her. And we discovered each other that we were way more closer living to, yeah.
You two probably have a lot in common.
I said we can go to the swimming center, So yes, but it's gonna cost me around $10 to go.
Mm-hmm.
In my head, it made one time. I said, you're working here like a dog for the minimum wage, which is more than anywhere in the States, but the living place is really expensive here. And I said, no. In my head, I had it. I'm gonna go to every council of the town, and I'm gonna ask until they kick me out, and they're gonna imply it. I don't ask for free. I ask for sleep. I have it for free because I'm disabled. I can go
Yes.
for free to
Oh,
the
okay.
swimming pool and
Okay.
everything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I want it
Oh,
for $10 a year for a
okay.
woman. Woman who are working here. Yeah, I'm not from here. And most are from India. And top we have 5, okay? The other people from India we have, they have restaurants, they're wealthy. So the people who are working here, they deserve better than that. They deserve better than that. Sorry, I have
I
a
agree.
mad tone, but I'm mad because I thought that they could have that. They don't.
It's another form of injustice that you're noticing.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And I understand why they couldn't do it for every man that comes around. So I'm gonna ask for the woman. It's a woman's right, isn't it?
A woman's right
Yeah.
to work, or what
We
is it?
don't have the constitution and like you have in the States. We're in Canada here.
Right.
So
So,
we have women's rights and stuff like that. We're
okay.
really implicit. It's really clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you think all the men are here from India and very few women?
You know, I was so proud of her. Her father came here, but she said, "You wanted to meet you and you didn't come." I said, "Yeah, we should be friends, eh? We should have each other's phone number." And she said, "Yes." And we were friends. She made me a, it's not a tattoo, it's henna,
Yeah. By the
on
way,
my
I
head.
was saying earlier it was henna tattooing.
Yeah,
So audience, it's a stain. That's what
yeah,
it is. They put a stain and it
yeah.
washes off. It's like a clay. It washes off and it leaves a stain. It's very pretty, nicely
It
designed.
smells good too. It's kind of, what do you call it? Cannelle.
So it's temporary. It's not a permanent tattoo.
No, it's not permanent. But it smells good. It smells like cinnamon,
Okay. Okay.
cinnamon, vanilla. That's kind of those smells and that. So good.
I've never thought about what the ingredients are within henna.
I know
Tattooing,
it's
and then
all
there's
natural.
hair color, henna hair coloring too.
Yeah, my mom did that on her hair, but it didn't smell the same.
It's not a good. It's not. It's more like a stain, even on the hair. It's not like permanent. Um,
No, I know my mom used to do that on her hair.
yeah.
Never looked good on her because it's not her natural color. So, but it was natural. But anyway, what I wanted to say is thank you for being there.
Thank you.
I was texting an XJW who always loved cats. And she said, yeah, she understood when I lost my cat. Or painful it was.
I remember that.
She told me a thing that was really nice. She said, Natasha, he was lucky to have you because he died in my hand, his head in my hand. He took my hand with his paws. To the last shot. But I asked him 3 more shots than he had to have to be asleep. I said, I don't want him to feel anything.
Right.
To give it to me. The father of my ex paid for it. Well, he paid most of it. I had to pay for a little bit, but $100 on 400, it's not bad.
No, that was very kind of him too to
Yeah,
help you with that.
he's the nicest person in his whole family. I'm sorry to talk about that stuff. Jeez.
They are our family members, and when they cross the Rainbow Bridge, it's a thing. It's a loss. It's something that is grieve worthy. You know?
Crossing the rainbow.
Yeah.
Linda James. Oh, sorry, Natasha.
No, I'm
very
sorry, Matthew.
Sorry about
No,
that.
no, sorry, Matthew. I let you talk.
No. I'd like to hear
Go
from
for it.
you.
Go
I
for it.
really value what you have to
Matthew,
say.
I value your words too. Okay? Go for it.
Oh, well, Natasha, I was just going to talk about, or I was going to ask Linda James about moderation on this channel and comments and political statements and things like that. And maybe it's something that I should ask after the show, just to talk about, because I ran it through an AI checker, just the comments, and it's flagged a few things. So
Okay.
and it's just encouraging to redirect, but I don't know what your personal policies are for your channel. So maybe it's something we could talk about later, or we could talk about now, depending upon you. What kind of comments do you invite? I mean, can persons make very can they get quite political, and or do you encourage neutrality? Are you more towards healing, or somebody can share a very personal view?
I have not given that consideration yet. So yeah, let's bring that up later. That would be good to bring up, and I haven't thought about that.
Okay, thanks for that, Natasha. That's all I was going to raise, and I was just
can
thinking
I say something about that?
Sure.
If they insult me, they can let them go. If they insult anyone else, shut them up.
Did somebody insult you here?
Yeah, they can come on. But if they insult anyone else, shut them down. I can take it.
Okay.
Natasha,
this is exactly.
I think what I'm asking is, do you feel you're in the company of friends, Natasha? Because
I am.
Okay, yeah. I that's why I say I enjoy your presence. I enjoy your experiences. I enjoy your vulnerability, your honesty that you share. I think you know this, and I don't want to keep going on to.
I don't know that.
Oh, you don't know that?
I'm happy to know that.
I'm happy to let you know. Yeah, because we've been talking for a while now, haven't we? I've been listening to your story and experiences for quite some time now.
Yes.
Yeah, and they've been personal.
I'm like a worm.
Who's a worm?
When you listen to me once, you can't forget it. It's in your head.
Well, I think the way that we heal is by telling the stories so that we can learn from them. If it's sharing horror stories for the sake of horror stories, well,
no, it's not.
I would question that. But if it's about sharing,
I'm sharing the way I want to heal other people that I don't know.
Yeah, and so we can protect ourselves. I think this is a good thing. Or
it's healing too.
Yes, that's my feeling.
Helping others is healing.
Yeah. So I think we could have the book on you now, Natasha. You know, the Natasha story.
You know what? I had a French teacher. He valued my my way that I was a good writer in French.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was a great writer, and when my parents stopped I couldn't take the bus and nothing to go to the college. They got me out of there. I told my teachers, the French teachers, and they said, "We never had a good student that since I'm teaching here."
Oh,
Both of them told me that. But since I had the brain and neurons ruptures, I lost. And I
What
need,
was
I just need someone who understands French and English and can help me to write my book. The book
Okay.
that every teacher and everybody who crossed my life, and I was, how can I say, I was cool enough, I was trusting enough to tell part of my story. I never told my whole story. But everybody said, you should write a book. You should write a book.
what Matthew brought up? Go ahead. Let me just ask something real quick.
Thanks, Linda James.
Natasha,
Yeah.
Purple Rhymes with Orange was asking, I missed something. Who did Natasha lose? Did you want to share who it was that you lost?
No,
No?
I don't want to share.
May I, or would you rather me not?
I don't think not.
Okay. Not a
Natasha,
If it's okay.
if you wrote, because you were saying you were praised as a writer. What
When I was
about
young and when before my brain and neurons rupture,
yeah?
you know, I had to learn to write, and I still can do crosswords, and I was a genius in that, but I can't anymore. So I
What?
need help.
Okay, so when you say you were a genius in that, and you can't anymore, is it because of
No,
physically
not a
writing, or
genius. I was good. I was really good at it. Not a
okay?
genius.
I
Genius.
thought you said,
I
I thought you
I
said
get what
genius
you
too. Okay.
I get what you mean, Natasha. Forgive me if I didn't hear that correctly. Natasha, so what I'm trying to do is, as soon as I hear somebody has got a creative side, I'm very interested, Natasha. So I'm going, what were the kind of things you were writing? Was it novels? Is it romance? What was it that you were writing? If I may ask.
I was in college, and sometimes they gave us words, comics from nowhere and from everybody. It was the worst words you can put in a story. And I got a story with all those weird words, an imaginary story. But I was the only one who took all those words in the story, and it was brilliant. As they say it was brilliant. Okay,
Okay, so if you mean imaginative, like what kind of imagination? I'm very interested, Natasha.
okay. What I want to do is like my teachers always told me, the French teachers, write about your life.
About your life, yes.
They all told me, and my teacher in high school, he said, write about your life, Natasha. I don't know why I'm telling you that, but I know.
Mm.
But I was really full of imagination when I was in college, and I was writing stories about. It was more for teenagers, or kids, but older kids, like young teenagers. It was imaginary.
Right.
Yeah, because I had to fit all the words, and I fit them all.
Okay.
But what I want to find is my story, because too many people told me to do that. My own story. I want to help people.
Hmm.
There's too many broken hearts, broken people that don't know that even whatever you go through, I went through a lot.
I would read your stories, Natasha.
I survived the serial killer.
I would read your stories, Natasha. I think they're very interesting.
You survived a serial killer?
Yeah, this one. Yeah,
That's intense.
I was
That's
the
intense.
word I was that, but I told him I didn't react like his 5 victims who were killed before me. I didn't have pleasure. I didn't have pain. I was just out of the GWs. I was abused since I was born, so he didn't do anything to me.
Hmm.
That's what I was thinking.
And he saw it in my fucking face. So I felt the worst. He saw it in my face. I didn't
Yeah.
feel anything.
Right.
I said, okay, you're done. You take me home now.
Hmm.
Sure, I didn't tell him in my address. I said, you take me to that corner street. But he killed 5 before me. I didn't know that.
Right.
Oh,
I knew
I
it
like
after.
I like that you bossed him around.
Oh shit! He had his fucking gun on my head, but I bossed him around. I did. I don't know
You're all-
why.
You're
Survival.
all, we're done here. Now take me over there. I'm
Yeah.
impressed. I'm impressed. You just bossed his
Wow.
ass around. Girlfriend, you're my kind of gal.
I wanted to live.
Mm-hmm.
I
yes.
was 18, just out of that.
Yeah.
I wanted to live. I said, no, take me home, okay? But I promised that I will never tell. I didn't take the plate of the car, nothing. I just on my head. And I'm sad about that. I still have guilt about that, because who knows if he did that again and again and again.
Yeah, I see.
Who knows? Because of me.
I think it would be because of him.
Thank you, Linda James.
Because I was scared.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Never seen him around again.
My intention wasn't to play with your emotions there, Natasha. My intention
It's okay. It's okay,
my
Matthew.
intention is I look at somebody's creative side and I go, this is the joy of our life, is to be able to create. You know.
Yeah, but you know what?
So,
The joy of someone's life like mine
yeah.
is to share it
Yes.
so someone can learn from it.
I'm learning from it, Natasha. I'm learning from you.
If you get raped, take the fucking number of the plate of the fucking car
Okay.
and get that fucking asshole in jail, in prison, whatever.
Well, I can tell you an experience I had when somebody threatened a child when I was in ministry. and we caught him and we put him in prison.
Oh, I wish
And,
it
and I went to
it's okay.
court. I went to court and I testified, and that person went to prison.
Went to prison for how much? How long?
I don't know. I would have to look it up. I can't remember.
They always get around and yeah.
But yeah,
And they get out.
sure.
They do. There was somebody that was coming after my oldest daughter.
Mm.
But then I also look at the bigger picture. I go, how did this person get to that situation as well? So there's another tragedy.
Yeah, me too. Hey, how do you think I survived that shit?
Yeah.
I talked to the guy. I asked him why. I asked, yeah. Make conversation. I was not good. I never talked to fucking people at the door.
Mm.
Preaching for Jehovah's Witnesses.
Right.
Never say the word.
Sure.
And I got baptized.
Oh.
But the first day, the naked man was, no, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so everybody, because of my experience, they let me go by, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
But, what was I going to say? What were we talking about?
Talking about creativity, Natasha. Talking
Yeah.
about, you were mentioning stories of the truth. Write about your life, and if it can benefit somebody, let it benefit.
Will.
And
It
and
will.
the
I
joy.
know it will. I just know it will.
Yes.
I know I have to do that. I don't know how.
Well, maybe there's too much pressure to do that. I would say you've done it
No,
already. Every time you
I
come
know
on a
that
show
since
like
I
this.
was 18, I'm 58. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. You know, these things are transcribed anyway. I mean, if it's on YouTube, it's written out. It's just not in a normal conventional book, but I mean, in a way, it's written out.
So
Linda,
if you wanted to tell,
Linda.
if you wanted to tell your story, you
Linda,
could
James,
either,
I told my story, but I couldn't tell it all. It was
Right.
so. It was with Michael Samuel. You know him?
Michael who?
Samuel?
No, I don't recall who that is.
A GW story.
Okay.
How is that spelled, Natasha? Do you mind?
I don't know. I don't remember. But
Okay.
Michael Samuel. He's an ex-GW. He's got lots of stories from ex-GWs. And I don't remember which number it was, but
Okay.
more than 100. Michael Samuel is an ex-GW. He left and his wife left with him, and yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm glad his wife was with him.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's
I'm gonna close this down in about 15 minutes. So I want to make sure that you have time to say what you came on here to say. Did you get a chance to say what you wanted to say, Natasha?
I don't know what I had to say and what I wanted to say.
Oh, okay.
Just one thing: stay true to yourself.
Stay true to myself.
To yourself, everybody.
Yes.
Whoever is listening, that stay true to yourself, and don't be a chicken like I was with that fucking serial killer.
You know, there's some things we do to survive, and it doesn't mean we're a chicken. Just saying,
No, I know.
you know,
I was in survival mode, and I know what it is.
precisely. Yeah. Um, Conti had that same kind of mindset
Hmm.
with her situation. Um, I don't know why I'm not remembering her first name, but since 2000.
Candace Conti.
Thank you. Candace Conti had that same mindset that you have about.
I know her, but
Okay.
I don't know her personally, but I know her.
Right. Right. So that story reminds me of what you just said, like you being responsible for anybody after yourself.
I need I need everybody to know. I need to. It's not a want, it's a need.
Yeah.
But I don't want to tell anyone that's gonna tell that's telling romance or something, you know?
Yeah.
I'm scared about that. So that's why I want someone who can talk in English and in French.
To help you with your book.
Yeah. They need to understand the cultures.
Right. That's what I'm hearing too. To understand the culture.
I knew you're gonna get it. Yeah.
I hope you
Culture.
find someone that does speak
Uh,
French and English.
where can I find someone like that?
Would you be willing to work with a ghostwriter? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
There's a suggestion in the comments that's interesting. Peps is here, by the way.
Hey Peps and hey Diana. Happy Heretic.
Says,
Oh,
Happy
no,
Heretic.
no, no.
Peps is saying, hi, Matt and Linda. Maybe Natasha could contact Colin because we've got writers among us.
Oh my God, I
We've got
forgot
them.
about Colin. You're right.
I mean, he's he's
the-
our circuit overseer. Do you know about this?
His channel is
Yeah.
called his
Oh,
channel
the
is called
CA from
the
oh,
CEO
he's
Visit.
in Latin America. Yeah, the CA.
The CEO
Yes,
Visit.
because we have a circuit overseer in our community.
Yeah.
He
No,
lives
I
in
didn't know it was
Honduras.
in this community.
Yes,
Yeah.
he writes. He writes these beautiful, imaginative stories.
I like the dude.
It's not so much like so Matthew was hanging out with me for quite a while. Then he started his own channel, and then he's doing these lives, and these guys just showed up, and the CO Visit is one of those people that will show up over on Matthew's channel.
I
And they're-
follow CEO visits maybe before you were in that James, the poster babe.
So
I don't know, maybe before you,
okay.
but not regularly, not as you. I'm always with you, but the CEO visit, yeah, it's once in a while, you know. It
He has a
doesn't go
really
on my
amazing
feed.
Yeah. He has a very amazing profile picture right now of him and his wife. It's really good looking.
Did you see his kids? Oh my goodness.
His wife goes by the name Jane Saints. I think it's such a cool name. Well, her proper
Wow.
name is Juanita,
Okay.
but her
Saints.
science fiction writing name is Jane
Did you
Saints.
see all his kids?
I've seen one of them.
Just one?
The
The one
daughter,
that left? The one that was in JWs?
Ah,
the
you
one that was in
remember.
JWs. The one that was
She
in
was in
JW.
JWs and she took off. See how bad? Is it the one you know?
I'm not familiar with that one. So his daughter got in
Oh.
touch with him, hung out with him for a while, and then she took off. Is that what you're saying happened?
No, she didn't take off from her dad's place. She took off from the G-Dub side,
Okay.
her mom's side.
Okay. Yeah.
How come you don't know that?
Because I don't. That's why I was asking you if that's what you were saying. I thought that's what you were saying, so I was questioning if that
Okay,
is what you were saying.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Because-
CEO.
Because
Oh,
from the
CEO visit.
because from the time that they've got in touch, something might have happened that I missed. So I thought I'd ask.
Sure. You're a detective, Pastor babe.
You don't even want to see me when I get all CSI. When I get
Oh,
Hmm.
I don't care.
researching, it's a
Oh,
good time.
shit. That eye? That inquisiting eye?
And
You
J Mars
know-
had sent you a message too, like
Who?
something like J Mars was like, "Be strong," or sending you strong vibes. I forget what it was.
Oh, it's nice.
Here it is. J Mars says, "Natasha, stay strong," and he's got his hand up.
I am. I'm stronger than ever.
Yeah, I pity the fool that messes with you. They'll be
I'm alone. Since I'm in British Columbia, Canada, I was going out with a dude 10 years younger than me,
yeah. Okay.
But
It
he
could happen.
asked me for a woman, and I thought, oh, I took a little belly. I'm old. No, he took off. He chose her because she's got a house. She's older than me, and you could put 5 or 6 of me in her.
What is
So
that?
it's not my belly.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay. So she was
And it's not. He's looking for his mom.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, I found her. Because when I met him, his mom was looking just like that.
Okay. Yeah. I've seen that show up in different places. Yeah.
Holy. Do you know? I wouldn't know if my friend in Belgium didn't send me the picture. Because my friend from Belgium, when I was 8 years old,
Yeah.
she came here in Canada in West Coast. No, West. So it's a long time flight. It's 7 hours when you go to Montreal, and we are 4,000 kilometers over that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it was. She's got family in Peru. Don't get me wrong, but it was the longest flight she took. And because it was direct. And he sent her her husband the picture. Are you there?
We're receiving.
And
Okay.
she got it from her husband.
No, her husband showed her the picture.
Okay.
And my ex said, don't show that to Natasha. Yeah, sure. She's my best friend since we were 8 years old. No, I'm not gonna show her. Fucking bitch.
Like that's gonna
Sorry
happen.
for my language, but
She properly betrayed her husband.
he said No,
So
but
non-submissive. I'm proud of her.
it's nonsense. We are friends since we were 8 years old.
Yep, there might be a loyalty
He
thing
was
going on.
my worldly friend.
Oh,
I
okay.
always feel like when we're talking with Natasha, we're talking with like the resistance movement, you know, Belgian
Because there is.
resistance.
Mhm. Totally.
Anyway, she, she sent me the picture, but her
Okay.
husband, he looked at the picture. He was the first one to get it, and he said, "What the fuck?"
Don't know.
Oh,
He said to them, "Are you crazy? Fuck, are you crazy?"
Hmm.
No, I love her. She's got a house and car and everything.
good times, good times,
They
eh?
got it. They got it.
That-
Then.
That's the definition of a sugar mama right there.
Listen, Jay,
You know what?
you
I
had
was
to
with a
fit that
dude that
in.
was 10 years younger than me, but I didn't pay.
Right. So she
I was
Okay.
not a
Out-
sugar mama.
I said,
But she is,
I'm
but
learning
she is.
lots right here, you know.
Yes, you are.
But she is.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
So when I've said I wouldn't be able to afford you, okay,
Oh,
I would.
here
not
we go, folks.
Oh,
afford you.
shit.
It's
Who
just set up for
can you
this.
afford?
What did you say?
Oh,
Who can
dear.
you
Okay.
afford, Linda?
Who can I buy? Nobody.
Who can you
Don't you-
afford?
Nobody. I can't afford anybody. I can't be nobody's sugar mama. That's what I'm saying. Because I wouldn't be able to afford
Honey
it.
Mum has spoken.
So
Oh my god! It
that's
was just a joke.
it's
You
totally
know,
a joke. Yeah.
My
me.
jaw sore. You know,
Okay.
are we wrapping up, Linda James?
We are.
Okay. Pips has been chirping.
Okay.
J Mars has
Apostle
been chirping.
Apostle babe,
Yes.
can we stay online? Can we
I
talk for a bit after?
I can call you in a little bit,
Sure,
but I'm
thank you.
gonna talk with him for a few minutes, and then
Sure.
I'll call you. Then I'll call you.
Yeah.
And I'll get out of all of your hair, you know. I mean, you know.
I need to talk to you. Don't
Okay.
worry, it's positive.
Okay. No problem.
But I need to hear you really.
I've been ignoring everybody's messages, including yours, and it has nothing to do with you. It's been me. I
No,
haven't
because
been-
I didn't send any.
Oh, okay. Sure. When I call you, you'll see all those messages you didn't send me. But okay.
Okay.
I
there-
know. I'm just
there anything-
joking.
Okay.
You know me. I'm a stupid.
You're a jokester.
I guess.
Is there
I guess.
anything you'd like to say before I give Matthew a chance to say goodnight, and then I'm going to say goodnight?
No, I said just good night, everybody.
Okay.
The world is lovely. There's lovely people all over the place. And there's assholes too, but
Mm-hmm.
there's lots of lovely people.
Yes, there is.
And you can find it at the corner of your street, going to the grocery store, anywhere. You never know. But it will happen to find a beautiful person
Very positive.
that's going to be your friend.
Yes. I love that.
So that's my end. Well,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you for being here every Saturday night.
You're welcome. I really, really enjoy doing this.
It's been weeks. I don't see anything. I just like just put thumbs up.
Mm-hmm. It matters. That makes a difference. Yeah.
But sometimes I don't want to talk.
I understand.
Natasha,
Yes?
au revoir et merci beaucoup pour tout. C'était un plaisir de vous travailler avec vous et je vous serai en excellente continuation. Né?
Oh, Steve.
Oui.
Okay, that's okay. You got my French from Belgium, from a little language in French. You get my oufti. You are good in French.
Je suis allé au de Fushuk pour le week-end parce que je me fais des achètes les bonnes nourritures et les électroménagers pour chez nous aussi.
Oh, do you want help for your French?
Why not, you know?
I'm helping people here for that French.
Okay. Anyway.
Seriously.
I just
you're
thought I'd
really
just
good.
try
You're
and be a
really-
little bit
You're
more
not
charming,
perfect. You're not perfect. You're good. Yeah, very
yeah,
good. But I'm
that's
gonna
great.
make you perfect in French.
Okay, I see.
Oh, wow.
Just joking. Hey, Matthew,
Yes.
it was perfect. I understood everything.
That's impressive. That's
playing
impressive.
playing the games.
But you're not fluent in French yet.
No,
I'm gonna
it's
get
been
you there.
long
I'm gonna
time.
get you there.
Okay, I'm sure.
I'm gonna get
Wow.
you to fluent in French
Mm.
Wow.
because you're not far from it.
Okay.
No, Pastor Babe, he's not far from it. He's pretty good.
If you say so, I believe you.
Okay.
No, I'm saying so because I'm French and I know.
And I believe you. Yes, you do
Yeah.
know.
He needs some little, but he's good. He should keep doing it because he's really good at it.
That's good encouragement. Cool.
Yeah.
Did you have
No,
any parting
it's not
words?
encouragement, it's truth.
Okay.
I wouldn't
Natasha, I'm
say
going to
that.
give some parting words if I may. Can I do that?
Yeah.
So thanks, Linda James. You did direct that to me. Am I correct, or have I misunderstood?
No, that's exactly what I did.
Yeah, I wanted to say thank you very much. We've had a good show. 3 hours, almost and a quarter, 3.25. That's pretty good going, you know.
Cool.
And I'm very grateful for everybody that's present. We've got great friends here. Natasha, you good fun to be with. Enjoy your stories. Linda James, thank you again for your gracious hosting. I think when I go, I'm going to leave you and Natasha just to chat and get together and catch up. But you know that I remain supportive. If there was an opportunity for me to be there and just to do a bit of debriefing and chat with you, maybe we can do that during the week sometime. Maybe join me on the Wednesday or whenever, or send me a message or something like this, and we can catch up as well. But
That sounds
before I
good.
wanted, yeah, thanks for that. So before
Thank
going,
you. Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to leave everybody with this kind of thought, if I may. You know, we've had people from different countries, different backgrounds, different beliefs, different stories. I was looking in the chat and just trying to catch up with what was going on there. But
Oh, yes.
what brings us together, Natasha, Linda James, everybody, isn't that we agree on everything. You know, the beauty is also the disagreement. It's what we know, what it feels like to want to be heard. You know, so many of us have come. Yeah. So many of us have come from environments that taught us to divide the world into us and them.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the beautiful things about healing, I mean proper spiritual, authentic healing, is that we don't have to keep living that way. We can disagree without becoming enemies. We can listen before we judge. And we can choose compassion over fear. I feel the compassion. I feel it. I feel it when you talk, Natasha. I feel there's the love there. I feel there's the compassion. I feel that with Linda James. So whoever's joining us, UK, wherever, Americas, Africa, wherever, the East, was it Canada, South Africa, Europe, anywhere else that I might have missed. I hope that whoever's come on board leaves with a little bit more hope than they arrived. So I want to encourage being gentle with yourself this week, Natasha.
Don't worry, I will.
You be gentle with yourself, and Linda James, and I apply it to myself too. I must give my own good advice to myself. So be kind to somebody if you can. And we remember that the conversation doesn't end when the live stream ends. I say beginning, end, beginning's all the same. It continues in every act of courage, big or small, the understanding and the love. And so I say thank you to all. Thank you, Natasha, for coming on. Thank you for all in the live chat here. And Linda James, thank you for bringing us together and for your gracious hosting. So good night or good day, everyone, wherever you are.
I have to say something to you before you leave.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, but I don't want you to go away, man. I have to say something, but whatever. Keep going, Matthew.
No,
She
I
didn't want
listen.
to cut you off. Okay.
I listen, Natasha. Thank you. Thank you.
You wanted to say something, Natasha?
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he was done or not. Matthew,
Were you done,
what kind?
Matthew?
Yeah, Matthew.
Yes, I'm listening.
What kind of music do you listen to?
Oh, many different types, all sorts.
Do you know Pink Floyd?
I know Pink Floyd, The Wall. We don't need no education.
Talking about
We don't need
it's
no
us,
thought control.
Control.
yeah.
You can't have your
title
pudding
of
until
the
you eat your
song is-
meat.
The title of
Yeah.
the song of Pink Floyd that I'm wishing you to listen to is Us and Them.
Is that in a Pink Floyd song?
Yes,
That's-
Us and Them.
Okay. Okay.
And my goodness. I have something else to see, but just I love you guys. That's it. I don't remember what I had to say. Yeah, but Us and Them, Pink Floyd.
Okay.
And do you know Freddie Mercury from Queen?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yes. We can be heroes. We can be heroes. He did that with Bowie,
No,
didn't he?
no.
Dun,
That's David
dun.
Bowie.
Another one bites the dust. Yeah, but he did sing with Bowie, Natasha.
Yeah, in one song,
He
but not that
sang
one.
Under Pressure. Coming down. on
AI
you,
is not that good, eh?
One of my favorite Queen songs. I think Bohemian Rhapsody is right up there, but
Well, that's the genius thing. I sent it to my friend from India because had America. I was born in India. Not his
Yes.
real name, as you know.
Yeah, Zoroastrian, eh?
And he said, "Oh," he said, "Oh, it's soft." I said, "You didn't hear the fucking stupid song."
I tell you what,
And he said,
Natasha,
"No,
we're
I
gonna.
didn't." I said, "Next time you're talking to me about Bohemian Rhapsody, you're gonna
Yeah.
talk to me about the whole song. It's
I
not quiet and lullaby."
I like fat bottom girls, and I like.
That makes my
this
world go round, right? Fat bottom girls.
fat bottom girls, and I like
Makes the
Killer
world go
Queen.
round.
By the way, I'm talking about the music, folks, just so that we
Right, right.
Yeah, but the words are
let's
good
just
too.
be
Quoting lyrics, yes.
Yeah,
yes, we're
the words are
lyrics here. But I want to just say thank you again, and I'm going to sign off so that Linda Jones can land the plane. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Linda Jones.
Okay.
good. Thank you so much, Matthew. And I really enjoy your team, you and Matthew. And the James, the babe. I really appreciate your team when you're together.
It's flowing pretty well, isn't it? I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it. I'm liking it too.
goes,
Thank you.
it goes like a flow, like the waves on the shore.
Thank you. I think so too. So I'm just gonna say good night. Thank you for everybody that showed up tonight for the live show, and for everybody that showed up in the chat. It's really good to see you. This community has been going through some tough times, and I just want to say that every single week I tell you that this is the highlight of my week, and I absolutely mean it. I don't end my shows with "I love you" and all kinds of stuff like that, but this is truly the highlight of my week, and I look forward to seeing different people within this community. And knowing that you listen to this show, or even not knowing who you are, and that you listen to this show, I get to see, when I look back at the videos, how many people watched it, and it warms my heart. I can tell that different people return, and I might never meet you, but I just want you to know that you're very, very valuable to me, and I really appreciate you. I will be back next weekend to do the show again, and I will catch you then. Okay, so I'm going to end the stream night. If you found any value in this video, please share it. I noticed that it's the videos from Facebook is getting shared, but after a while they disappear. So if you can share these videos from YouTube, I would appreciate that. Thank you. Good night, everyone.